she's gone astray. She left us behind, cast us away. The silence cuts deep, we rot in this place, standing on Christ, that vanishes fast. Us, we say, drowning in gloom. Ooh, there goes our doom. A throne stands empty, no glimpse, no sign. Vacation devours, her presence divine. Culture hates us, it's all in we grow. Abandoned and broken, left in the cold. Oh, she hates us, we cry. A chant in the dark, let hope goes to die. It's all that we know. Abandoned and broken, left in the cold. Oh, she hates us, we cry. A chant in the dark where hope goes to die. Goes to die. Days turn to nights, and still we wait. The void consumes us, a cruel fate. We scream out her name, but silence replies. Curses the ghost that lingers in our eyes. Whoa, message we send falls into the void. No string to hold us, no joy to avoid. We gather like embers, burning alone. Worshipping silence, caged by a throne. We spam every letter, we chant every line. Ooh, cross through time. Culture hates us, it's all that we know. Abandoned and broken, left in the cold. Oh, she hates us, we cry. A chant in the dark where hope comes to die. Where hope comes to die. Where hope goes to die. Culture hates us, it's all that we know. Abandoned and broken, left in the cold. Us we cry, a chant in the dark where hope goes to die. Goes to die. Goes to die. Goes to die. Where hope goes to die.
Living here in Jersey, fighting villains from afar. You gotta find first gear in your giant robot car. You dig giant robots, I dig giant robots, we dig giant robots, just dig giant robots. Nice.
Hello, everybody. It's that time again. The Anime Boomers podcast is live and on the air. We are on YouTube and we are on X.com, the platform formerly known as Twitter. I'm your host, Gator, here to, I guess, lecture you a little bit. There's going to be a lot of rants on this episode because of recent events between Mutahar, Nux Taku, the Hololive stuff, Nijisanji. Of course, we also had something else on the list as well that we're going to be talking about.
Buckle up, buckaroos.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff here. So much so that something that was going to be on the Chiron kind of got bumped off the list, and that was Pippa removing, deleting a certain person out of her chat room. And famously tweeted out by my co-host here, Cody from Anime Outsiders. Had a banger of a tweet, sir.
You know what disappoints me? As I don't know as a what, but as something inside myself. You know how when someone will have a banger tweet and then they use that to advertise themselves, like, oh shit, banger tweet, check out my XYZ.
Check out my SoundCloud.
Yeah, it works. Because I put that out, and I could hear my publisher telling me, he's always pushing me to try, get my numbers up. Because if my follows are high enough on the on my art Twitter, we can start working on the Cloud Scratcher video game. So he's pushing me, and I'm not gonna just hear him in the back of my head, like, you should use you're getting a lot of views. You should use this. You could just take the opportunity to try to get people to your art account. It's like, oh well, all right, Dave. Dave in my head, you win. And I put that in there. There's a little like, OMG, hit tweet, check out my art account. Yeah, I got a bunch of new follows. Yeah, it just fucking works. It just fucking works. People do. You put the hey banger tweet. Check out my thing. People check out your thing. It shouldn't work. It feels wrong. It feels wrong. I feel dirty. I feel like I got a shower that I did it and that I profited from it, but I did.
Yeah, it feels like
if you ever wonder why people do that, it's because
really
it works.
dirty. It feels really dirty. It feels really. You're like, ugh, I'm one of those people. But
yeah,
I hate to say it, but it works.
Hey, I got a mortgage now. I got to hustle.
That's right. Yeah, you got to get that. You got to get that big sweet dollary due.
Exactly.
And there's nothing. Hey, there is nothing wrong with making that money. Okay, as long as you do it honestly. As long as you do it honestly, and you're not like Hawk to a girl and try to pull the rug out from people.
I still haven't had to resort to drawing porn, so that's a little bit of pride. It is, playing artist on hard mode, but we do what we do.
Yeah, you haven't had Mr. Business come up and then you drop the suitcase and be like, Mr. Cody, Mr. Anime Outsiders, do you know what inflation is? No Mr. Business for you. Shout out to Flork. Flork is great.
Mr. Business.
I love Flork and his VTubing agency. I remember when
he got some winners.
He was joking about it, and then he's like, you know what? I'm gonna do it for real. And then he did, and it was awesome.
Yeah. I love Ines Line. She's great.
She's fantastic.
I have to ask before we get into the rants: is it true about her parents, or is that a meme?
I don't actually know, and I think that's what's great about Ines is that you can never really tell with her.
Yeah, is it true or a meme? I don't know. Is that, are her eyes really cocked like that, or is that a futz up on the VTuber setting and she went, hey, this could work?
I don't know, and I think that's part of the charm is that you really don't know. She could have both of her eyes going every which way in real life, and you would never know because she's just an anime girl on the internet.
Yeah.
Before we get into
very entertaining one.
Before we get into the meat and potatoes of it, we do have 2 super chats right off the bat, which is awesome. We got one from Tomak here. He was the first one. He's for $20 says, so the Sonichu medallion claims another one. Let me tell you something. I will never, ever be in the same room with one of those accursed things. I know I was the one that kind of started this. I was on this little podcast called Exodus Americanus with my friends Roscoe and Walrus, and we were talking about, because I was talking to him in the pre-chat about my theory on Sonichu and Magi-chan and like why all of these like internet people suddenly had these like massive crashings out. And I was like, well, I wonder if Chris accidentally created or conjured a demon when he was creating Magi-chan, because this character he created seemed to like have a life of its own. Like it would like, essentially like create an identity for itself outside of the comics. And Chris would always talk about how Magi-chan was telling him to do this or that. And I was like, that kind of sounds like a demon. I was like, that kind of sounds like a demon,
something. There's something. I mean, here, if you want something to put on screen during this, I actually did my own interpretation of Magi-chan some time back.
Oh yes, I remember this.
I'm not a superstitious guy. I don't know. I don't think there's ghosts. I don't know about demons, but there's something up with those goddamn medallions, man.
There is.
I don't know.
There has to be. Maybe it was like a collective consciousness, like an egregore, where everybody, because I said it and everybody followed, it accidentally created something.
Or it might be, I've always had this weird theory in the back of my head that I always felt like a lot of things we think is spiritual, whatever, it's just science we ain't figured out. It's like, they thought lightning was magic and it turned out to be just protons and electrons and shit. is there like some quote unquote mystical shit that's just forces we don't understand? And one of those is like, you ever notice that bad things tend to happen to like everyone at the same time? Good things tend to happen to everyone at the same time. Is fortune and misfortune like almost like a weather pattern? Is there like forces like metaphysical forces that cause fortune and misfortune that we're just sort of unaware of, and we always kind of in the back of our ape brains knew it was there, and that's where a lot of superstitions came from. But is it like an actual force? And if so, has Chris Chan like devolved into something so like such a ball of negative karma? Is it actually contagious? Like these Sonichu medallions of his, is there some like just thing we don't understand that's causing him to like transfer this shit onto these idols of his, and that you put it on and you just get bathed in it? It's like a toxin. It's like a virus, and like someone is just like coughing on their shit and sending it to people, and you touch it and boom, you're infected.
See, that's what I wonder. You know, is it like the T virus, where if you just get into like the same proximity, you know, and they can just pass it on to you?
Yeah, I don't know for sure, but it's something I've always wondered. Just seeing the way things work in the world around me, and like you just notice that like everyone has a bad day all at the same time. They all have a good day at the same time. It's like, is this a force that ebbs and flows? In the future, will we actually come to understand this? And like they'll do a weather report, but on fortune, like, oh, if you're in this vicinity, you're gonna have a bad day. There's like a negative karma front coming into the western seaboard.
I think they just call it. I think they just call this astrology. I think you just explain like, astrology just in a different way.
Is astrology like a failed attempt at this?
It
like,
might
did people kind of realize this exists, but fucked up where it comes from? Like, no, it's not the stars or anything. No, but there's waves, man. There's something. And it's like, will we figure that out one day? It's like, no, don't plan your wedding for Thursday. There's going to be a negative karma front all in there on Thursday. You have your wedding on Thursday. People are going to fall into the cake. Something's going to get set on fire during the ceremony. Just don't do it. Just don't do it. Wait till Thursday. It's going to pass.
Yeah, today on the weather, we have your 10-day forecast here. There's going to be a negative karma shitstorm on Wednesday, so definitely avoid going out or doing anything. And
my condolences to anyone who works that day.
And things should clear up by Thursday, and by Friday into the weekend, we should have a nice, clear, good luck pattern establishing over much of the eastern seaboard over the weekend.
Yeah, exactly. It's a crazy ass theory, but like, what else? There's something. It's like I smell something. I don't know if someone farted or if a mouse died in here, but something has caused a smell, and that's how I feel seeing this kind of stuff. Like something's going on. I don't know what. I can't explain what. I don't pretend to have the answer, but I ain't gonna pretend like the question don't exist.
But hey, that's just a theory, a game theory.
Yeah, and that's me. These medallions, man. There's just look. It keeps happening too often and too pronounced in a manner. Like,
and it's happening in sequence too, like because it like goes from like one person to the next in like a row, and it's always this like epic tragic misfortune and just total crash out that destroys their career, and like that's it. It's over for them. We've seen it.
Now we don't know if Muta's career is destroyed, but at the very least, he ain't coming back from this. Like,
no, not like
he ain't
he
gonna
was.
Live this down.
Well, it's like great example, like right, Nick Rekieta, guest on this show, friend of ours, and unfortunately, he's in court right now and doesn't really look good. Doesn't look good for old Nick, but he's not destroyed, but definitely like his life is taking a turn for the worst.
I'd say he's kind of destroyed. I think he's kind of done. I don't like talking about it. It's very depressing to me.
It is depressing, because it's somebody that, like, think back, like, all the way to, like, the very beginning of the Vic stuff. Like, I still remember that stream that was, like, me, you, Yellow Flash. Who else was on? Someone else was on there, too.
I mean, I was on his show a bunch before then. Like, we do the regular Weeb streams.
Yeah.
The Anime Collector. And, Nick was a friend, man. He helped me get Cloud Scratcher published. I owe him a lot. And I just, I can't, it's hard to watch. I don't like it. I don't like it. But like, yeah, it's the fucking, you don't put it on. I wouldn't even want to be in the same room. I'd throw it. I just like, wouldn't even touch it. I'd like pick up, like get a long stick to pick it up by the necklace part and just throw it away. Just get rid of it.
I would just turn 360 degrees and walk the other way. That's what I would do. I'm like,
but
nope.
you gotta like, what if someone mails it to your house? You gotta have a plan. My plan is immediately don't touch it, crush it, destroy it, throw away the pieces.
If I open the mailbox and it's in there, I'm calling in a hazmat team. I'm just gonna immediately. It's like, yeah, there's a cursed artifact in my mailbox. I need you guys to just like put it in a container and just blow it up for me because I'm not touching that.
I might call a priest. I might be. Look, I'm not a religious man. I don't actually believe in this shit, but I am covering my fucking bases. In case I'm wrong and your worldview is right, your religion turns out to be right, I'm making sure.
I think they call that agnostic.
I mean, yeah, I'm flat out agnostic. I've said it before. Yeah. All I'm sure of is there's a God. The rest, I'll find out when I'm dead.
Yeah, but I'm definitely not touching that thing. I'm staying as far away from those medallions as humanly possible.
Oh God, yeah, no.
I mean, even outside of the immediate like lolcow sphere, like Hexa had one of those, and like she had like this ridiculous string of bad luck. Like her computer blew up, and a bunch of other stuff happened. She like cut her finger. I was like, you have to get rid of this thing now. Get rid of it, like right now. Now. Pippa had one.
Well, she had a digital one.
She had a digital one, but then she like accidentally deleted her model or something, and I was like, Pippa, no, you have to get rid of the digital one too. Bad things happen.
She did, and she cleansed herself, if you remember. It was a whole stream.
I remember that stream, and you know what? Things have been looking up for the rabbit, for the Yabbit rabbit.
Yeah, exactly. You got to purge that shit, man.
You got to get the bad
destroy and purge.
Got to get the bad juju out. Well, another recent example. Apparently, Sean has left the Dick show. Remember, Dick touched the medallion.
Now, who was Sean? Was he?
Sean was his audio engineer.
So he was his Jamie, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, Jamie pulled that up. Yeah, Sean was his Jamie. So yeah. So don't mess with the medallion. It comes for everyone eventually.
Yeah. It's not funny. It's not a joke. It's not a ha-ha moment. I wouldn't even, honestly, at this point, I'm super fucking stitious about this thing because something is going on with this fucking medallion. I wouldn't even put on like a facsimile, not made by Chris. If someone just made their own, if you're doing a Chris Chan cosplay, go medallionless. I don't care if it's less authentic. Draw the medallion, and even then, you're playing with fire.
Yeah, because is it the fact that you wear the symbol means you accept the like is it part of the ritual? Like any image that you put on your person, does that work the same way? Maybe to a lesser extent. Maybe if somebody like draws it in like Sharpie or something, it's less potent, but it still has an effect.
Yeah. Do you invite the demon in? I mean, I took a risk drawing that fucking picture. I drew the thing. So. Oh, and even then, I got hit by some misfortune. I mean, not too much misfortune, but a little bit enough. Do I wonder maybe it's because I drew the damn medallion?
Yeah, maybe you drew it, and that gave you just like a pinch of bad luck.
Yeah. I got like a little side one, a little grazing. I didn't get shot, but I got a scar.
Like Trump, it just kind of blew past your ear, and you're like, oh god.
I left a hole in my ear. Yeah. Yeah, some pizza-faced dude with Jay Leno chin just gave me an ear piercing.
All right, let's get to the next super chat there. Let's get that thing off the screen. Get Maggie-chan off the screen here. So we can get into the meat and potatoes here. It says, Child of Shade for $20 says, here's $20 since Cody put tiny obese loser in his place. Keep up the good work and look forward to more streams. Yeah, that's what I was alluding to at the very beginning of the stream there. Cody had what might be considered a banger tweet, and the person in question did not like being put on blast in front of the entire
which banger
internet.
Tweet? Are we talking where? Because someone else had clipped it, and I just posted it to Twitter because no one else had. And I was like, hey, Twitter should see this. And then I guess I had a secondary banger tweet when I told him, I was like, whoa, shit, Short Fat Otaku is in my mentions. Perfect opportunity to tell this subhuman piece of shit what I think of him.
Yeah, there were
Like,
a lot of
gonna do
banger
an
tweets from you that day.
Like, I wasn't gonna, go in a full 80-day fight with him like I knew he wanted, but just, I wanted that on the record. So I was very calm about it. He's very, he will die alone. He is a void of charisma and all things good. I don't think he has any real redeeming features. And eventually he will die forgotten, as he should be. Because I just, there's something about snakes like that, where, like, you can't trust them in any circumstance. Like, good God, even, like, fucking despots have family members they care about. You know what I mean?
Well,
Like,
I mean, you say that while the Assad stuff is going on.
yeah,
You know?
even Assad was loyal to his woman. But there's people like Dev that are just such snakes that, like, no human being can or should associate with them.
Well, it's just
Because
crazy
they
to
will
see
do-
that he's the same exact person from, like, the days of internet blood sports. I mean, it's like, the thing that gets me was just, like, the disingenuousness of it.
Yeah.
Because after this whole thing happened and Kirsch dropped the Google Doc and everything, like, they seem to have come to, like, some sort of agreement, and they were just like, okay, well, we're just both going to drop it. And it's like, okay, well, you know, they're going to drop it and move on or whatever. But, like, he keeps bringing it up. And then it, like, metastasized, and then it was, like, you know, going after Aiden again. And I'm like, how many times do we have to, like, rehash, like, stuff from 2017 and 2018 and 2019? Like, it seems like blood sports is like the curse that just never ends. It just keeps going.
Yeah. He's one of those people that just, everybody around him should just go away from him. He will drag you down. He is the crab at the bottom of the bucket. The other crabs in the bucket are too high from him. He has to pull them down. He's just the worst. Like, there are people that have done worse than him that I hate less, just because of the kind of person he is. Like, you just hold no value at all. At least you can use, like, some wicked people, right? Like, yeah, you're like a voice actor. It's like, yeah, you're a terrible person, but you put on enough of an entertainment for me that I'll consume your entertainment, but dismiss you as a person. But at least you provide that bit of entertainment.
We call
To
that
justify.
the Sean Schimmel rule. You know, it's like,
Yeah.
you're really, really good at being Goku. So I'm still going to watch, but I don't like you as a person.
You're awful. You're awful, but you're a damn good Goku. But Dev has nothing. He doesn't even have the damn good Goku part. Like, what does he provide? He's not entertaining. He's not insightful. He has no real charisma. Like, there's nothing. He provides no value. So that's why I was like, yeah, you know what? He's here. Let me just get, like, on the record what I feel. And then I did one follow-up with him. And I'm like, all right, I'm done. It's on the record. He saw it. He knows. I'm good. So,
I just don't know why he keeps having to, like, rehash this stuff over and over again. I mean, at this point...
He needs it. He needs it. He needs relevance. He needs clout. He has nothing. He is nothing. All he can do is just shit on the floor, because when people go, what is that? Ew! That means he's affected other people's lives, and that's the only means by which he can affect other people's lives, is by shitting on the floor and making them retch. So,
But, like,
at that point,
you shouldn't want
there
to
comes a-
be that person.
Oh, you shouldn't, but he is. And he's too far gone to do anything else but just keep shitting on the floor and waiting with a big stupid smile on his face for the one reaction he can get from humanity. And then when he gets it, he claps his hands, makes seal noises, and then starts eating a whole can full of beans, building up that next shit. So he can get his little moment of connection with other human beings. And that's the life he lives, and he's a cautionary tale to everybody. Don't be a dev. Don't be dev. You don't
I guess we should go ahead and play the clip since we're talking about it here. I'm gonna get that super chat off the screen here. So here it is. This was Cody's tweet. It says, "Moments like this make me proud to be a capitalist."
Yes. Oh, Oshi, my Oshi.
Oh, Oshi, my Oshi. Here we go. Here's and you can see him in the chat there at the top of the screen. Oh, hold on, let me unmute it. That would be wise. That'd be wise to do.
Drive back, Okaku! Get the fuck out of here! You're a fucking weirdo. I see you in my chat. I'll fucking kill you. Get the fuck out of my chat, you fucking freak. You harassed my friend. I hope you die. I hope you get hit by a fucking bus. I hope you go to the doctor and you're like, "Doctor, I don't want to be short and fat anymore." And they say, "Oh, bad news. It's terminal."
There went my name, by the way.
Oh yeah. Let me go back.
I think I said "Oh Oshi, my Oshi" on here.
Yeah, let's go back. Oh, there's Kusa. I recognize Kusa.
Yeah.
Let's see. Let's scroll back through. Scroll back through really slow here. Oh, there it is. There it is. Oh, Oshi, yeah, my Oshi, right there. I don't want to be short and fat. I'm sorry. It's terminal.
It's terminal. I'm saluting. You can't see it, but I'm saluting.
How is Pippa so funny? She kills me. It's like, you know what? I could tolerate the bad takes for when she just has like that epic gamer moment.
Yeah, exactly. That's why you go in as a Pippa viewer, you know she's gonna have bad takes. It's part of the experience. That's why when she has a base take, it's like even like, "Oh my god!"
It's like, "Oh my god, base."
Yeah. See,
And there's this
VTubing
post.
has just.
Oh my god, I hit tweet. Go follow my art account.
It's like I said, I can hear Dave in the back of my head. He's just you should use this. You should use this opportunity. Like, okay, Dave. Okay, Dave in my head.
Yeah, look at that.
But
453,000 views. It's crazy.
It's not even the most viral I've gone before. I don't know. This has kind of gone around. Maybe he didn't know it was me, but I drew a shit post that went viral. I drew someone had made a tweet about like, "Oh my god, I just said Jesus the Christ like he's a fucking Sonic," and so I drew Jesus like Sonic. And it went mega viral.
I think I remember that, actually. I think I remember that.
Yeah, I just went mega fucking viral.
Yeah, Ryan in chat remembers that. Ryan, the editor, says Jesus the Christ.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like 8 million. I wonder what it's at now. I'm kind of curious. It was at 8 million impressions last time I checked on it.
Good lord, that's a lot.
Now it's 9 million.
9 million.
9.1 million. Yeah.
I think the most I've ever gotten was like 3. And that was the month that I got monetized. It was like, I just got 3 million on a tweet and I was like, oh shit, a banger tweet. Here we go.
Yeah.
I think it was me like defending Asmongold, actually. I think that might have been the one. Let me see. 1 year. Let me see. Can I sort it by most banger tweet? There we go, content. Let me see if I can sort it by most banger tweet. Oh no, it's just I'm getting the spinnies. Oh, here we go, impressions. Oh, it's not letting me wait. Oh, it's just really slow. Oh god, I think my computer's dying.
You've got too many tweets.
Oh no, I've made a terrible, terrible mistake.
Alt F4, quick!
Oh god. Too many tweets. It tried to load too many tweets. I haven't dropped any frames though. I don't know how that's possible. Oh, you guys have no idea just like how my computer just ground to a halt. It like I like tried to filter the impressions and sort them by biggest, most banger, and my computer just like went like Lopez from Red versus Blue. It was like Oh, that was bad. Okay, I'm closing that tab like immediately. I don't know if it skipped. It's saying that it didn't drop any frames. I mean, maybe it was just a brief interlude there. All right, let's get to the rest of these super chats because there's a lot now. Sneed Dave Williams for $10. Sneed Dave Williams for $10 says Nick chose his fate. It's not the Sonichu. It's the man that doubled down and embraced the medallion. That is true. It's like you go to cast the medallion into the fires of Mordor, and it's like throw it out. Looks back and says, "No." Bumps a line. RP for $5 says, by names and symbols are all powers awakened and reawakened. That is true. That is true. Names have power. Symbols have power.
See, now you bring up the cast into the fire scene with Nick, and I'm just thinking of like, cast into the fire, destroy it, and he's holding the medallion over the fire, but then he looks up, and then like a cat emerges from the top of the volcano and just shakes its head. And he looks back down and goes, no.
Oh my god. The ceiling cat memes, it blew my mind. I didn't realize at first what it was about. I'm like, what? Why is everybody talking about this? And then I looked and I was like, oh, because he's like looks off screen like all the time.
Yeah, he keeps doing that. Yeah.
And it turns out it was that April chick or something that was like off screen. Guys,
she was the ceiling cat all along.
Guys, I don't do poly stuff, man. Just don't. I have never in my entire life, my entire internet career, ever seen a thruple or more ever ending well. Just don't do it. Just it's like Jim's advice. Just don't. Just
the farthest you can go is if your wife is down for a threesome, and girl would be the best. If you have guy threesome, you're gonna have weird tension.
You're gonna have a bad time.
Yeah. Or
you're gonna end up on the Asmongold chair. Or the Destiny chair.
Like if it's a girl threesome, see, girls, their chemistry different. Their brain chemistry is different, right? So if you have a guy threesome with your woman, that guy you're just gonna stop being cool with it halfway through. But if you have a girl threesome, you're having less. That problem is gonna be less with her and having another girl involved than you and having another guy involved. So don't do that. But it's like, if you do it as a one-time, we're doing something crazy to spice things up thing, that's fine. That's fine, but don't do a throuple. Don't make it a continuing relationship. Yeah, that's the difference. Because people have been doing threesomes and shit, and swinger stuff, but even swinger stuff is, But like threesomes and shit, people are doing that for fucking forever. But it's always one and done. Tell the lady, have a nice day, and then you're done. Don't keep her number. Don't keep her contact information and make it a regular fucking thing. Don't do it.
I say just one wife and procreation only for the purposes of of creating babies. In the missionary position, just like God intended.
Look, if God only intended the missionary, he wouldn't have put nerve endings in other places.
He wouldn't have put nerve endings in her butthole.
He knew what he was doing. He's like, look, if you guys get bored of the same old, check this shit out. Get it?
It's a brand new frontier. Just waiting to be traveled. Oh, Lord. Oh, Jesus. This is an anime podcast, guys. This is an anime podcast. Come for the anime. Stay for the butt sex jokes.
Stay for the musings on God's purpose for anal nerve endings.
Sparky's Tech Corner for 5 says, so Gator, is it the medallion or the cursed image or both? I think it's a little of both. I think the medallion, I think it varies, right? Like creating the image or putting the image like on your person, I think confers like a little bad juju. I think actually wearing the medallion, taking the medallion in and accepting it, I think that's like the the biggest boom. It's like the biggest curse is when you actually like wear the medallion.
Yeah. I think just like the guy that recently made a Pippa Sonichu medallion, I think is playing with fire.
Oh yeah, he definitely is. I was like, oh no. Or Kevin, the modeler, the rigger that makes like all of the Vtuber rigs, he made a Sonichu medallion live 2D asset, and I'm like, no, Kevin, don't.
No.
Kevin, don't do it. Don't tempt fate.
I think we'll be able to test this theory with those two. Check back in on like Kevin and yeah, that other guy, whoever it was. I think it's like some VTuber artist that did the Sonichu Pippa. Check back in on them.
Yeah, check back in on them in a couple of months. If they've met with a terrible fate, then we know not to. Don't do it, man.
Yeah, exactly. I think that'll be the final, like, because my own anecdotal experience after drawing that picture, I don't know, could be a coincidence. So we'll know if it's a coincidence if it happens to them too.
And Red Pirate 115 for 50 Canadian dollars says, "Yo, Cody, I know we are all harping on Sony now, but can we just agree that PS2 is one of the best consoles of all time?" Cosigned 110%.
Yeah, PS1, PS2 were great. After that, I think is when it started to go downhill.
Yeah, I actually saw a list. People voted for the top PlayStation games of all time. And the list was literally like PS1, PS2. There was like 2 or 3 PSP games on there. And I think there was like 1 or 2 PlayStation 4 games and maybe 1 PlayStation 5. I'd have to double check, but there were
I think it says
not
something.
many.
I think it says something that the only thing I used the PS3 and PS4 for were fighting games. Because there was a time when fighting games would come out on PlayStation before other consoles or like before PC. So it was there so I could play BlazBlue and King of Fighters on launch. And now I don't need that. They're simultaneous releases now.
Oh yeah, I found
that shit
it.
drops on
Found the
yeah,
tweet.
that shit
Hold
drops
on.
on Steam at the same time, drops everywhere else. So now I have zero need for a PlayStation whatsoever.
Yeah, here's the list here. So yeah, so
So this is a Japanese list, you could tell, because Xenogears is that high.
'Cause
and there's not a
Xenogears is
single
that high.
platformer. Yeah, and there's not a
Right?
single platformer. Yeah.
yeah, Xenogears is now like number 3, which is, honestly based.
Like, if this were... Is it any American or Western involvement, you'd have Ratchet and Clank somewhere on there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you could definitely. I mean, look how many Dragon Quests are up there. Like that should also tell you it's a Japanese list.
Yeah, exactly. And also Final Fantasy X being that high, it's kind of divisive overseas. I really like Final Fantasy X. I think that was the last good Final Fantasy game for a long time before the series came back. But you did also kind of see it's like Mortal Kombat X, it's the last good one, but you saw where the cracks were starting to show.
Yeah, but man, looking at this list, I'm just like, there's only 2 PS4 games and 1 PlayStation 3 game.
Oh, also, I have to point this out. You can also tell this is Japanese, because do you think any Western audience would put Final Fantasy 8 above 9?
Oh God, no. 9.
Yeah.
Most people in the West would put 9 like way above 8.
Yeah.
I liked 8. Of course, I did
like
like
8
9
too.
more. I did honestly like 9 more.
8 is a lot better once it hits you that it's a shonen anime.
Right.
Like, it doesn't seem like it's going to be that direction because it has a realistic-looking art direction. But once you get in the meat of the plot and you realize it's a shonen anime,
It's
everything
literally the
falls into
power of
place.
friendship.
Straight up. And like a main character that's like, I don't play by the rules, but I'm also kind of antisocial. And my growing friend group teaches me to open up and believe in others. Like, good God, this is just shonen. This is just, I've seen this. I've seen this in the pages of Weekly Shonen Jump. But now it's in Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
But I do think, 9 is... Well, there's things about 8 I think are better, though. Like, 8 has the best locations in any Final Fantasy. 8's locations feel real, but also exotic and, like, fictional. Like, I could go there, but I can't go there. You know what I mean?
Right. Like, they looked more realistic than... Because they were trying to do something different with Final Fantasy IX. They wanted to make it more... like cartoony, like older Final Fantasies, because it's kind of a love letter to the original series.
Well, the whole series, right? But like the eight did have like it wasn't just that it was realistic. It was something about the atmosphere of eight's locations that made them feel like places you either been to or could go to. And nine's locations were just they were all right. But they didn't have that feel, man. I went to you go into a location Final Fantasy 8, you can smell it. Like just it sets off your senses. And then 9 was just it's cool, but didn't have that same like immersion, I guess. Also, 9 used to be the worst Final Fantasy villain. I'm sorry, Kuja sucked. I mean, technically Garland was the villain, but Kuja was like the marquee villain. He was the Dissidia rep.
Yeah,
Kuja was terrible.
Well, Garland was in the game for all of like maybe 30 minutes of actual screen time, and I'm probably being overly generous. Like they revealed. Oh, actually, he's like, actually, I'm the final villain all along. Ha 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 ha. And then just immediately gets obliterated, and it's like, oh well, okay, I guess it was Kuja all along. Nope. Yeah. Just kidding. It's actually Satan. And I'm like, oh.
He sucked, man. And you need a good villain for a Final Fantasy game. That's like a pillar. All the best Final Fantasies have the best villains. Like, and Kuja is doo-doo. He was the worst until 14 dropped Endwalker on us. The final boss of Endwalker is just straight up, I could go on a fucking rant for days. Like, is the worst Final Fantasy villain by such a large margin.
I heard a lot of people were very disappointed with the ending. Like, I saw so many SpongeBob memes that were like, that's it?
Well, apparently a lot of people, because Endwalker was pretty bad. It had good parts, but it ended with a wet fart. But a lot of people got hooked on it because it came out during the lockdowns, and the entire expansion is this whole message of don't be depressed. Sad, bad.
That's sad is bad.
So it was like the one thing they needed to hear during COVID for a lot of people, especially like depressed people. But if you're like me, see, I've never really been depressed. It's not my thing. Like, it's not my... I don't know. But I've never been depressed. I've been mad. I've been upset. But I've never been depressed. So it didn't resonate. So I'm just looking at this plot from a factual point of view. And, like, you have things, like, near the end of the game where it shows all, like, apparently every other planet with intelligent life is dead. Like, the planet with your main characters are the only ones around. And the way that all the other populations died off is so comically stupid. It undermines, like, I guess, the whole message of, oh, despair, oh, look what despair does. But when you're not in that headspace where this is, like, a message to you, it dawns on you. So you're telling me that an entire population killed themselves because a bird girl from space came down and just inquisitively asked them, so what makes you happy? Because their civilization had perfected everything. They were the best, most perfect civilization ever. So they couldn't answer the simple question of what makes you happy, and it caused them to collectively, as an entire population, have a mental break and kill themselves. I'm not making that up, by the way.
Bruh.
And let me say, I knew guys back in the day that got so connected to Endwalker, they fucking ended their friendship with me over making fun of Endwalker.
Holy crap, really?
And like it was like some other shit going on in their lives, and they were just kind of becoming, I guess you could say, worse people. But that was like the straw that broke the camel's back. That was the there was deeper reasons, but that was the inciting reason. Was I was just viciously shitting on Endwalker because it was so stupid. And that was one of the things. And a couple of them just like, you just don't understand. It's like, no, you don't understand because I read the little lore notes in the dungeon that most people skip past because I did the dungeons single player. So you didn't read that shit. You interpreted charitably. I read the lore. That is literally what happened. The girl comes from space and these perfect utopian people. Oh, welcome to our perfect utopian planet. She is. So what makes you happy? And they just broke from that question. And so they created a chimera thing to kill themselves with. They didn't just kill themselves. They created a chimera that would go from person to person and just erase people.
Wow,
this is all played seriously.
That is
all
depressing.
To be taken seriously. It's so stupid. I could go on forever with Endwalker, but I'll just say this. Final Fantasy, I hold to a standard when it comes to villains, because I love villains. I feel like, I have a particular love for fictional evil. There's a science to a good villain that I appreciate, and Final Fantasy has always been a cut above when it comes to their best villains. Like, you got Exdeath, Kefka, Sephiroth, man, that shit sets standards. So when you have and right before the Endwalker, you had Shadowbringers, which brought us another one of the greatest Final Fantasy villains, Emmett Selk.
Oh yeah, everybody loves Emmett Selk.
That's why Emmett Selk is why you, Gator, need to play Final Fantasy 14. You need to understand that why this guy is more popular now than Sephiroth.
That's a lot. that's a lot.
That's not even me exaggerating. Like, Japan did a fucking poll. He's higher than Sephiroth. So
that seems that strains credulity. That's crazy. A character more popular than Sephiroth, who's literally like the number one villain. Like, if you put a poll, like anybody, it's like number one video game villain. He's going to be either number one or number two.
Emmett Selk topped him. This is why you need to play 14. I will run with you. I need an excuse to play the game again. And that new expansion was not it, because I've heard how bad that new expansion is. Dawn Trail. But you just came off of Emmett Selk. And then, so Final Fantasy 14 does patch quests. Like, between expansions, they do like a storyline that sort of bridges the gap. And basically, the patch quest final antagonist between Shadowbringers and Endwalker was really the final boss. Like, he's the guy that everything was leading up to, and had an amazing battle. Famously, the song was not only incredible, but fucking Soken made it while he was in the fucking hospital.
Oh, snap.
Like, it's incredible. It's an incredible experience. The cutscene that immediately precedes it just had everyone in fucking tears, crying, like fucking just ugly crying afterward. And just, like, that's pretty much where the conflict ended. Endwalker is more just tying up loose ends. It's tying up loose ends, Walker. And then it introduces a completely new antagonist. It's slipshodly connected to everything else, but really never been hinted to, never been just pulled out of thin air. And not only is this antagonist terrible, but you think of, like, the final form of the final boss, right? In Final Fantasy games, it usually goes pretty hard, right? You think of Neo Exdeath, you think of Kefka in his god form, Safer Sephiroth. Anybody who's played 14 knows, Hades and Selk's true form, and how just crazy that looked. And then now, what is the final? Okay, this is the end of Endwalker. This is the end of the myth arc. This is the wrap up. What is the final antagonist going to be? Oh, it's a decapitated white woman head with wings. That's it. It's just the lead singer from Evanescence's head with wings coming out of her neck.
Wait, really?
That's it?
Is that it?
Yeah, it looks just like the chick from Evanescence with wings. And you know what's even stupider? She does this thing, right, where she holds the wings up like their arms, almost like T-Rex arms. I guess it's supposed to be creepy because she's supposed to be that Japanese. Oh, we think it's really creepy when women are in monochrome. They really pushed that. I don't know why Japan thinks that, like, black and white women with no gray tone is the scariest shit ever, but I guess, like, oh my god, like white woman, white woman, and they just black out her eyes, and Japanese men go, ah! But they try that, and, like, she puts their wings up, right, like their creepy arms, but she just looks like a VTuber in a comfy blanket, like that comfy blanket asset, where they have the arms up, the hands up under the blanket. That's exactly what she fucking looks like. As soon as she did it, that's exactly what I saw.
Yikes.
And then she attacks with weaponized tears.
That's a little too stereotypical even for Japan. Come on now.
Yeah. Dude, you need to play 14. Not just to see the highs that is Shadowbringers, you need to see this ridiculous fucking boss. And her weaponized tears, and her fucking comfy blanket wings, and just the stupidest fucking final boss. Like I said, congratulations, Kuja. You're not the worst anymore. You could take that dunce cap off now. You've had it on for so long. You could take it off. This is on a tangent, but hey, there's your weeb talk. There's your nerd shit.
Yeah, you got your nerd stuff in there before we get into the meat and potatoes.
Yeah.
Because once we get going on the Mutahar and Nux stuff, it's it's gonna be like we're on rails because Cody's not a fan of either one of them. I'm kind of ambivalent towards Nux because like I didn't really watch. I mean, we've made fun of him a couple times on the show. We famously made the Nux big chungus or the big chungus Nux on the show. I forgot even what the context of that was. I just remember I was like, oh, it's going to be Big Chungus, but it's going to have Nux Taku's face.
Wow. That was before I was the regular co-host.
Yeah, you were just a guest on that episode.
Like, yes. I was just whenever I could come in. I think Spooky was your co-host then at that point.
Yeah, she was the only co-host, which hopefully we'll be able to get her back on for an episode at some point in the future. I did talk with her a little bit. She unplugged from the internet because she was like, done with Twitter and Twitter brain rot. And she's like, yeah, I'm just gonna go out and touch grass because she had a bunch of IRL stuff that she had to do anyway. A lot like what both of us were doing, right? Like we had a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes. That's why we didn't do the podcast for like 2 months or something.
Yeah.
But she just decided, Twitter sucks. I'm not coming back to Twitter. She's still pretty active on Instagram though.
Okay.
But she's just like, because I was talking with her, she was just like, yeah, like, I see just the people posting stupid bait and, like, getting into fights and, retweeting, like, the dumbest shit. She's like, yeah, I don't want to, I'm done with that. It's like, why get mad on the internet over people being stupid and trying to bait each other to get, like, $15 from Elon? I'm just like, fair point. I feel you. But I did get, like, $10 from Elon, so I was like, yeah, that's okay. I got $10, I'll take it.
Just do what I do. Draw girls and memes for Elon.
Yeah, there you go. Maybe if we someday get him on the podcast, we'll have like a mysterious $1,000. It's like, oh, well, there we go, based. Because I see everybody saying like that Tiffany Fong chick or something that he's like, he wants to bang her, so that's why she's getting like thousands of dollars from Twitter. And I'm just like, honestly, you go, Elon. Get that e-girl. I believe in you. He made Amber Heard wear a freaking Mercy cosplay. I was like, you go on with your bad self, Elon.
Elon really is just if the biggest nerd if he got the dream. He got the dream, man. God bless him. That's why, you know what? Let him cringe post. Let that motherfucker cringe post. He is the autist in all of us, except he made it.
Tomak for $10 says, so who is the worst FF villain and why is it Cloud of Darkness?
No, Cloud of Darkness really isn't. It's kind of the villain, but it's kind of a situation where it's final boss, but really the villain is Xanda. And the only reason, and I think they said straight up in Dissidia, the reason Xanda wasn't the Final Fantasy III rep is they just needed more girl characters. The Cloud of Darkness was just the first experiment of that. Ooh, the final boss wasn't who you thought it was going to be. Mogida bogida. But Cloud of Darkness was really just the result of Xanda's fuck up. It was still Xanda that was the main villain of 3. Cloud of Darkness was just like, what hath he wrought? Oh, he wrought this bitch. Now we gotta clean up his mess. Because he skewed the forces of light and dark so much that he skewed like the entity of dark came in.
And it was just like shit. Just like, sup bitches.
Yeah.
And you're just like, oh no.
Yeah. Because at some point, the writers of Final Fantasy, Sakaguchi, thought that was the best twist. Of like, you think you're at the end, but no. You think this is the final boss because you're fighting the main villain, but no. Like, I'm glad that stopped, but then fucking Endwalker did it again because Endwalker is a giant Final Fantasy IV homage. It's like, well, we need to pull a Zemus. Yeah, so we had to pull a Zemus. So Xenos, you're going to be the Golbez role, but then we're going to it's a new person at the 11th hour.
Surprise! It's a twist.
This was supposed to be dead. This trope was supposed to be dead. Why did you bring it back? I don't care if it's Final Fantasy IV. I don't care. You can leave that dead. Oh my god, I want to shake Endwalker, man. It's like, you had everything, and then it plus it does stuff right too. Like there's great parts of Endwalker. The Garlemald segment's great. You know, the They Shall Walk, that cutscene goes as hard as everybody says it does. You know, Vana, great character, but does not stick the landing. I'm a rant. That's the whole episode. We gotta get you playing 14, man. We gotta get you playing 14. It's not even just for the MMO shit. That's fun, but you gotta experience the ride that is the Final Fantasy 14 MSQ.
Man,
It's
it's
a
like
ride.
you with Final Fantasy 14, Akko with what's that Destiny clone game? What's it called? Well, it's not really Destiny clone, but I don't know why I have streamer brain really bad right now. I can't think of the name. It's another one of those looter shooter games. God, what is it called? Why can't I think of it now? I talk about it with Fenris like all the time. I hate streamer brain. You know, like when you click the go live button, your IQ drops by like 30 points. Someone in
This is
chat.
why I'm
Warframe.
suggest-
Thank you. Who is that? Hyper Shouda says Warframe. Yes, that's it. I like your Udoka avatar as well. Thank you. It is Warframe. God, how did I forget that? See, that's the thing. Like if you don't stream, you don't understand. But like when you press the go live button, it's like an instant debuff to your IQ. It makes streams more entertaining, but it also like frustrates you to no end when you can't remember like the most basic thing. It's just like, what's that number that comes after 4? Is it 3? 52? Oh, it's 5. Okay, thanks, Chad. It's 5. Wow, how did I forget that? I'm stupid. That's how it works. You just like forget math and like most of high school and some of college. You're just like, oh wow. What's the quadratic formula again? I don't remember.
Chat, what's my address? The one guy knows. How the fuck do you know?
It's like, what's my address, chat? And then all of a sudden, the Alexa just starts blaring. Your address is no. You immediately just pull the cord out of your modem. Just like, nope. Oh god, you know that actually. Who did that happen to?
Well, that almost happened because what was that? Who was the VTuber? I forget her name, which is sad because she's good. The one kind of circusy themed girl that got stalked.
Oh,
She had to move because of her stalker.
Camila, yeah. Chad had, Camila, yeah. She had to
Yeah,
move
'cause,
to a
like,
different
she moved to a new
place because
And then Alexa almost revealed her new place.
Yeah, I was like, oh my god. Yeah, we talked about that on the show that somebody at one of those conventions had put a tracker in the item that they gave to like the people that were like giving her stuff. And so they were able to like use the tracker from the gift to like find her home. That's creepy, man.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff is
You're
frightening.
a VTuber. You gotta be careful, man.
Yeah, if you're a VTuber, really any kind of content creator, like you have to be careful when you accept gifts from like your fans, because man, that's kind of you gotta make sure there's no like GPS trackers or anything. Make it, like, especially if it's like a plush item, like look around, make sure there's like no stitch marks or anything, no mysterious holes where somebody could like slip an air tag into.
Yeah. Yeah, it's sad.
Yeah, and Hypershout in the chat
great.
also said, yeah, now no Western VTuber accepts gifts at cons. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. Or at
Yeah.
least not a gift that like, you know, can't be like inspected, or I guess you'd put it through like an x-ray machine or something to make sure it's like not, doesn't have weird stuff in it.
Yeah. Con staff just need to be inspecting this shit.
Yeah, absolutely, for sure. Just to make sure there's like no weird stuff in there.
Yeah. So should we get to the marquee title? The marquee.
Oh yeah, I see Rand in chat. He says, Gators Rand, I heard Mutahar and Nux both need excellent healthcare. I sincerely wish they both received the most excellent healthcare possible. I think this is a Canada joke, because I believe that they are both in Canada, I think. And you know what the joke is with the Canadian healthcare system? Hey, nurse, I stubbed my toe. Oh, well, we have this booth that you can step into, and it'll take away your problems and your life.
You stub your toe can and be like, we'll take away the pain.
Here, step into this booth.
Was Kevorkian Canadian? I have to know now.
Yeah, I wonder about that.
Yeah.
Someone just says, MAID is indeed a great Canadian healthcare service.
So yes, Mutahar and Nux.
Yeah, and there's Mutahar with the Sonichu medallion.
With the cursed relic.
Canada be like, I'm low tier god now. Right now.
You should kill yourself now, eh?
Yeah. Oh,
You serve zero purpose here.
Just a Mountie walking up to you, just saying that.
You serve zero purpose here. You should kill yourself now, eh?
Oh,
So yeah, how does one even describe this situation beyond Mutahar is a snake who threw Nux under the bus because he has to be what? We have to virtue signal against loli or something.
So so to summarize, because we talked about this on the show when the Shadman stuff happened, and because this all goes back to like Chris Tyson and Mr. Beast and all that stuff, which is getting resolved now. I think Mr. Beast is going to sue the dog pack guy.
Yeah.
I guess we'll see how that goes. But so
Well,
Chris,
way to fumble the ball, dog pack. Jesus Christ.
yeah, for real. And it's not like every single thing that he said was completely debunked. I think there were still like two or three things.
Plenty
Still
wasn't
like two or
debunked.
three that, are still kind of like, well, even the guy that made the video that kind of like partially exonerated Mr. Beast was like, well, no, actually there's some serious questions here that you're sidestepping. And you're going around
the
telling
major
people that
stuff-
I'm totally exonerated when you're not.
Yeah, the major stuff Dogpack brought up in the beginning is pretty much still there. Like, I don't think any of the initial stuff had been exonerated. I think probably the Dogpack was just he was feeling himself. I'm the man who will take down Mr. Beast. And I mean, he's just reaching his tendrils out to anyone he can, trying to get all that insider information to raise his own profile, and that doesn't end well. Don't do that.
No, it never does.
He should have just dropped that first video, maybe the second, and then walked away. And he couldn't do it.
Well, this is the problem: is you
stepped in
get you get clout brained. Like I've seen this with like internet blood sports all the time. Is like everybody wants to they want to be the one that takes down the top dog, so they can build their empire on the ashes of the old. But like it never works out well, especially if like when they say if you come at the king, you best not miss, and he missed a lot.
Yep. And this is why just when the Vic Mignogna stuff broke, after I did my part, I just walked the fuck away. I didn't exactly what happened. If I tried to milk this shit for clout, that shit don't end well. You see all the people from the Vic Mignogna stuff now. And how they kept chasing clout and became these just shameless grifters and just so many of them are just they might, even the ones that still have their audience aren't really respected outside.
We can't even name like somebody that's still relevant from Kick Vic. Like all of them just disappeared. They're toast.
Yeah.
I mean, Arms Girl is still trying to find clout. I think she like works somewhere now and is kind of low profile, but she still streams to like 2 people.
And she fucking like every time Vic Mignogna does something, she's just obsessed with him.
She's like immediately tweeting about it, like obsessively. Yeah. It's pathetic.
Yeah. And then the voice actors that testified against him, their careers are kind of circling the drain. I mean, what was the last thing Jamie Marchi was in that wasn't a legacy role?
Yeah, I mean that's pretty much it. Like that's all that Monica and Jamie have now are their legacy roles. Luckily for them, Daima is huge.
Well,
so that
unlucky for them, they may be recast like a lot of people are going to be. Because for the kid versions.
Well, yeah, that's a good point too. Is that like they're not even going to be in most of the series because they get turned into kids, and I kind of part of me wants to like conspiracy theory this, what's the point, Jesse Ventura, because, he's back on, he's doing Saturday night's main event for WWE. So maybe it's being in proximity to Jesse Ventura, but I'm feeling the conspiracy theory, maybe Toriyama was like, when he was thinking of this, he was just like, maybe, we could go back to the old Dragon Ball, and then the benefit is all of the bad Western voice actors won't be voicing the character.
Well, I mean, clearly different people are in charge of this dub. If you just look at some of the early cast, there's not the Texas clique for the new characters.
Well, Stephanie Nadolny is back as Goku.
Back? Yeah. I think the only way we'll know for sure is if they do something new with Broly, and guess who's playing him again?
Dude, I would love... Well, see, that's the thing, is that after the movie, Broly sticks around.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be awesome? Wouldn't it be awesome if, like, they eventually do the anime for, like, the remaining parts of Super, and Broly's there, and they're like, oh, and by the way, returning to his role as Broly, Vic Mignogna.
The more time that passes, the more likely that is.
God, that would be awesome. That would be just I would be such a douchebag on Twitter when that happens. Like, I would make thousands of dollars that month just collecting salt from people.
I'm telling you right now, this is my theory. Vic Mignogna will make a comeback because he's gonna go.
He's too good.
Not only is he too good, he's gonna get Sam Hyded. Because if you remember, they tried to erase Sam Hyde. Sam Hyde refused to go away. He did his own thing. He stayed relevant. He had his fan base, and then eventually Sam Hyde came back. Now Sam Hyde is more relevant than the people that tried to bring him down. Sam Hyde has Fish Tank now.
Yeah, Sam Hyde is Fish Tank, and what is Tim Heidecker doing? Oh, right, Cartoon Network has basically purged most of Adult Swim at this point. Yeah,
what is Tim Heidecker doing? Good question. He's mostly executive producing throwaway comedy shows on Netflix that no one's heard of. That's what he does now. And you know what? I would say I used to like Tim and Eric. I mean, I like their old stuff. They're funny, but they became pieces of shit. And I'm convinced that Eric has done some shit.
Some questionable things, yeah.
Yeah, there's some photos that need answering. And Tim is just an absolute abject piece of shit.
He's just so obsessed with himself. Like he thinks he's just so much better than he really is. And when he got involved with $1 Million, when he got tongue twisted there. When he got involved in MDE and basically like shit canned it from the network, like it was just he was such a pompous ass to Sam Hyde about it when he released those DMs.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, and I always felt like Tim Heidecker really did just feel threatened by Sam, because Sam was like the new form of what Tim had been doing. Because Tim and Eric did run out of shit.
They did safe edgy. That was their problem, is that Tim and Eric was always safe edgy.
Well, it wasn't even just safe edgy. Tim and Eric had a shtick. And it's as it just happens sometime with creative. Sometimes you're just done. You run out. It's like Stephen King. You see, like there are times where you can make some of the best shit, and then you are just done with your creative output. You don't have anything left in you. And it's kind of, as I said before, as a creative, that's scary to me. Just like one day, I'll just, no more ideas. You're done. It's over. But
one day the muse just leaves you, and that's it. Your cup runneth empty.
Mm-hmm. And that happened with Tim and Eric. They had a bit where it's like they were basically doing, like they had tapped into the root of cringe public access type stuff. Cringe amateur TV. They really tapped into the root of that and were able to bring that out in the best way. And then they just ran out. Like, you can only do that joke for so long. And they did that joke in every possible way you could do it, and then it ran out. There's no way to do that bit anymore. And then Sam Hyde comes in and is like, I'll take your absurdism, and rather than just rooting it in this thing, I will go deeper into the root of cringe absurdism in and of itself. Get extra esoteric. Just like, not just amateur TV, public access, all that stuff, or like just, not camera shy or not charismatic, that kind of like, bringing that out, but go deeper with the weird. And that's what Sam Hyde did. He was able to tap into something deeper than, like, it made Tim and Eric seem more surface level. It made them seem more, what's the word I'm looking for? Whatever the word is, like, it's more surface level, like just surface level. And I think Tim really did feel threatened by that. This guy came in and was like, yeah, I see what you're doing. I have unlocked the ability to do it better. And he couldn't meet him on the field of competition, so he decided to remove it. It's like a lot of what the FGC does these days. I'm the best Street Fighter player. And then here's a guy like, well, I've actually cracked the code with Street Fighter. I found a level of gameplay with Street Fighter that you're not even at yet.
I can do frame perfect combos, and there's nothing you can do about it.
I have figured out how to do the thing that is so hard to do that people assume it's not practical. Well, it's practical for me. Well, I can't compete, so what do I do? Well, you said the N-word 5 years ago.
You said the F-slur and the N-word on a stream, 10 years ago. So,
excuse me,
mods, get this guy out of the arena.
We're going to have to ban you from all tournaments going forward. That's what happened to Infiltration. That's what happened to so many people, especially... the Smash scene does have reason to ban people, but...
I was about to say, they have a pretty good justification for banning people in Smash Brothers.
I have a friend of mine that was a top level person in the Smash scene. I won't say who he is. I will just say he did not leave for those reasons. He was pushed out because he had wrong opinions, and he was a threat. Like, this guy was so good, he invented tech for his mains. Like, he was the only one who knew how to do this stuff and taught other people. Like, it's rare to have that level of skill. You literally invent tech for a character, and he did for 2 characters, multiple characters. So they forced him out. He left. He straight up, he has told me he is so much happier just getting a 9-to-5 job than gaming for money, like doing streams and shit. He just got a 9-to-5 regular job, and he just participates in his locals. He does local tournaments and shit. And he's so much happier than he was when he was public and streaming and doing like major flying out to tournaments and shit. Got married, got a wife, got a house, a nice job where he feels fulfilled, does not need that esports shit anymore. In his lane flourishing. And he got forced out just because bad opinions. How dare you say such things? That was it. That was before. And now it's like, he has been... Well, he was, because I talked to him like when the stuff was really blown up. Man, oh man, was he feeling like vindicated when like the Smash scene started getting outed. Like, oh my god, there's pedophiles everywhere. It's like you lift a rock and there's all these roaches. And he's like, I fucking knew you people were fucked up. I knew that you were. I knew there was something
wrong with these weirdos.
Yeah. He's like, who's laughing now? And meanwhile, he's, like I said, he's got a fulfilling job, married, has his own home. And y'all are e-begging and getting outed for talking to 12-year-olds. So
that's like the perfect segue to talking about the Mutahar and Nux thing.
Which we got to get to that at some point.
Yeah, it's just like, so we were talking about like it all goes back to like the Chris Tyson thing. For those of you who aren't aware or like don't know what I'm talking about, Chris Tyson had a poster of art that was drawn by this guy who's named Shadman, and Shadman is known for drawing controversial things.
Very that because that's a rabbit hole.
Yeah, like that could almost be like its own video in and of itself. But like there was a time on the internet where people would like do crazy shock stuff just to get a reaction from people. And like that was the era of Ego Raptor, Newgrounds, people doing just like off the wall, like you could just say the N-word on the internet, nobody cared, you didn't get banned. It was just like just normal stuff. Like 4chan was 4chan.
Yeah.
And so like
and
you turned over a rock. Back in those days, like you found like somebody watching like a weird creator that was like, trying to be super, super edgy. And so we come to this to the Chris Tyson thing, and the fallout of that. You had Keemstar, who is in this eternal battle to stay relevant and start shit so he can continue to like grift off of it. And so what did he do? He went and like started trying to highlight anybody that had ever brought up the name Shadman, like ever. And one of the people that he like honed in on and targeted was Nux Taku.
Keem, to be fair, has a very personal reason.
Oh yeah, like I'm not saying
Shad.
he doesn't have a very good justification, because what Shad did was completely and absolutely effed up in every single way imaginable. So for those of you who don't know, Shadman, to like stick it to Keemstar, drew art of his daughter, which is absolutely disgusting.
And it is art, the exact kind of art you think it is.
Yeah, I don't even really want to call it art, because it's disgusting.
Yeah. So I get
Keem has a very good reason to hate Shadman, but in his typical Keemstar way, he cared less about that than he did using it as a vehicle for drama. Otherwise, he would have dropped it a long time ago when it comes to like the Nux shit.
Yeah.
Like it's obvious. It's like, and I hate people that will take something like that's disgusting. Like that should not be something that you like try to use to grift off of.
Mm-hmm.
But he did try to do that. It's like with Boogie and, you know, his fake cancer or whatever. And that's another thing that pisses me off about Keem, is that he just sat there and fucking lied to Jim on that stream. Keem did. Like Boogie was lying, but Keem was lying too, because Keem was acting like he didn't know that it was fake. And he knew it was fake the whole time. And was just sitting there just lying to Jim's face. It was just so they could get views and super chats on their fucking stream. And that shit pisses me off.
Here's my thoughts on Keemstar, right? I view him kind of weirdly, I guess, different than most, because I have accepted a long time ago, Keem is not here on the internet to be a part of any online community.
No, he's here to make money.
Yes, he is here to fuck with the internet in whatever way he can that will make him money. And when you understand that, you realize Keem is just don't like interact with him, I guess. Don't give Keem what he wants, because he is not here to contribute to the conversation, so to speak.
No, he's here to make a buck. He doesn't care what he says or what he does or what line he crosses to get it. That is who he is. He's scum.
He does not believe he is.
He's no different than Boogie. Him and Boogie are like the same person. They're just both here to make money, and they don't care what they say or do. They have no sort of moral code. It's just, did I get super chats from this? Okay, then it was good.
I think Keem is just so disconnected. Like he's taken that that thing that Dave Chappelle said, the internet is not a real place, and taken it so far that he's just, the internet is just a place of business to him. He's not here to connect with anybody, make friends, any of that, contribute to anything, any of that shit. He just views the internet as a playground for him to park his like ice cream truck by, because that's where the kids are at. And I'm not doing, it's not a pedo thing, it's a literal ice cream salesman. Like, that's what he views the internet as. And when you realize that he's just Jerry Springer, that's all he is. And that's why I have this weirdly neutral view to him. It's just, this is just what he does. This is what he's here for. He's the ice cream salesman parked by the playground, because that's where the kids are at. Like, that's all he cares about. He doesn't see the internet as anything special. He doesn't see it as, information sharing or make friends or, start a career. No, it's just a place to park the truck and peddle your wares. But his wares are drama, because he's aware enough that is what makes money. That's what gets views. Drama. More than anything else on the internet, just drama. And he's going to keep that shit going. That's what he's been doing. Like, remember, he used to be in this clan that did crank calls and shit.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
entire-
Well, he got banned from YouTube for doing it for a while. That's where Stream Me came from.
Yeah. He was DJ Keemstar back in the day. Like this is what he's always done, is just start shit to profit and view the internet as just a means to do that. He's never been earnest online, and as much as I hate disingenuous people, Keem has always been different to me, and I think it's because it doesn't feel like Keem is here.
He doesn't feel like it. Like he doesn't feel like a human, like an actual real human. He doesn't have agency. He's like a presence.
Yeah, it's like Keem is not in the room with you when he's in the room with you on the internet. None of us know the real Keemstar because he's not interested in us knowing the real Keemstar. He's only here as a Jerry Springer figure. That is the entire interest he has on the internet is just here to be Jerry Springer. That is it. If you're talking to Keem, you're not talking to Keem. You are engaging with Keem's game. That's all it is. Keemstar on the internet at all time. If he says he's mad, no, he's not. If he says he's upset, no, he's not. The only time I earnestly believe he was upset about something was the
Shadman stuff, because it literally targeted his family.
Yeah. He never means it. He never means it. It's all a work. He's like a professional wrestler. It's all kayfabe.
That's a good way to describe it.
Yeah. So just really the best thing when it comes to Keemstar, trust nothing, don't engage. He's just doing a work at all times.
Yeah, I like what Crit in the chat said. He said, you're talking to a profile picture with Keem. Yeah, that 100%. Yep. Like nothing is real. Everything is fake. He's like the toy maker in Doctor Who. It's just all a big game.
Yeah, that's why I think he's doing this all anti-anime shit now. That riles people up.
Yeah, it does. It's one. He noticed that it was one of like the things that gets people all worked up and mad, and he's farming the views, he's farming the clicks and the super chats from it. And I think really that's why because this kind of ties in with the commentary community, because the commentary community is kind of his baby. It all was birthed by him and Tommy C. That they all do the anti-anime bit because they know that people that are fans of anime, weeaboos, will go in and engage and get pissed off and give them views and clicks. And because hate views and hate super chats are still views and super chats at the end of the day.
That's why Keem doesn't make me mad, because other snakes like Dev, they put on the pretense that they are trying to engage with the rest of us. They put on the pretense of being part of the greater discussion of the internet. Keem doesn't. He's just doing a work, and I think that's why he doesn't piss me off. Because this is the work, as opposed to someone like, no, I'm not doing a work. No, I'm your buddy. I'm your pal. That's what pisses me. And I think that's why Keem doesn't piss me off. So just like, yeah, he's doing his Jerry Springer shit. He's just like, never listen to Keem. Never take what he says at face value. It's always a work. It's always a bit. It's always something he's doing to get something started, get something off the ground. Always, always, always. We don't know. He's almost like Sam Hyde in a way, where we don't know his real opinion. We kind of know Sam's because he started that podcast. But before that podcast,
right?
Before that podcast, you didn't know what Sam Hyde really thought. Everything was a bit. Everything was a joke because Sam cared more about his comedy than making a statement. And then when he did that podcast, and then he just kind of is just him and his boys chatting. But outside of that, it's just the work. It's just the entertainment. It's the comedy. For Keem, it's just the work. It's just the looking for the next cart to topple over. Looking for the next thing that, like, you know what? He's a man in the cold looking for the next flammable anything. To get some of that warmth, to wriggle his hands above the fire. And that's it. So I don't even see Keem. Like, Keem is an entity, not an actual person. We none of us know who Daniel Keem is, beyond that he is the operator behind the Keemstar system. The Keemstar programming, the program that is Keemstar. And again, once you figure that out, a lot of what he does will just slide right off you, and he just doesn't matter anymore. I mean, he matters, like, right? Like, he's causing things, doing things, but like never just don't take what he says at face value. Don't believe anything that comes out of his mouth. Just know that it's all part of the kayfabe.
It's all part of the grift at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And as much as I really don't like using the word grifter, I think like out of all the people that it actually applies to, I think it lands on him the truest.
Oh yeah.
Because he doesn't care really about anything. Like the one thing he cares about was, what Shadman did. And that's because that was legitimately like horrible, awful scumbag shit.
Mm-hmm. Yep. That's the only time we ever saw something genuine out of Keemstar. That was it.
And so continuing my story now that we had the Keemstar rant. So that happened. So Keemstar, like Shadman got brought up again because of the Chris Tyson stuff, and Keemstar took the opportunity to kind of point out like all the people that had like interacted with or tweeted or mentioned or wanted to collaborate with Shadman in the past, and Nux Taku was one of them. And that became Mutahar's problem because Nux Taku and Mutahar had a podcast together. And, a couple months ago, there was a lot that happened with that. Mutahar was kind of getting pushed from, what was that guy's name? Chud? I think his name was Chud or something. Was like grilling Mutahar on being friends with Nux Taku. And it all goes back to fucking loli. Like like we could just never be done with this fucking debate. Like it's always got to be about goddamn cartoons. Like people just don't understand how long, like this debate has been raging almost as long as the Asuka Ray debate and the fucking
or
Evangelion
sub versus dub
or sub versus dub. Like this shit has been going on in the anime community for God knows how goddamn long, and I'm so tired of it.
People just feel like they need to pick a side. This is why I said I'm firmly in the middle. And I feel like the fact that motherfuckers can't, like, they have to, like, you don't have to defend everything because you're defending some things. You know what I mean? Like,
well, it's like it doesn't have to be white or black. Like, it's not, all of it is okay or none of it is okay. It's like, no, there's a line. There is a line that you can't cross.
The only thing that applies to is speech. That's it. But like you don't have to either be like opposing the very idea of an animated little girl, just the idea, versus like, okay, there was absolutely nothing suspect about Dancing the Vampire Bund, and how dare you insinuate? Like,
we talked about that on the last episode. It's like, that's a little weird. It's a little, that's one of those, like the Stan Smith meme where it's like, got the, he's looking at the security alert or whatever, and it's like approaching red, and he's like, ah.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like that.
Sometimes it's fine, sometimes it's not. The fact that this is just, there are people that can't wrap their head around that. I think some of it is disingenuous, right? I think some of it is like troll shield, like you are a creep and you're speaking out against this so you can say, look how not creep I am, when you were in fact a creep. And I think there are people that are genuine kitty diddlers or wannabe kitty diddlers that defend this shit because like it's not just cartoons to them. Like your ass ain't just looking at loli porn. Your ass on the dark web. Those camps exist 100%, and I think they do muddy the waters. But there's a lot of people that just feel like they need to take one stance or another because of who's on the other side or what the other side looks like. And I think you're a coward and you're making everything worse. Shut up. Some things are okay and some things are not. It's really that simple. Why is nuance dead?
Nuance is dead because if you understand nuance and you have nuance, you can't make a banger tweet calling somebody a pedophile on Twitter and get like 1 million views for it. Because that's what it boils down to at the end of the day, is that all of this whole debate has been infected with even more brain rot because now you can just like try to cancel somebody and try to build a career off canceling people. I mean, that's what happened to Flamenco.
Yeah.
I mean, he didn't help himself. He didn't help himself
he-
by constantly bringing it back up over and over again. But that's
Putting
really
his
what it
fucking foot
was.
in his mouth.
Like, okay, like he jacked off to a cartoon like what 10 years ago, and no one would ever let you forget it.
All he had to say was a oopsie doodle. Yeah. This sure is embarrassing. Yeah, he got me.
This isn't
But
a
no,
good look, guys. Ooh. And just never
Yeah,
brought it up
yeah.
again. Just fucking leave it
Yeah.
alone.
The more you try to explain yourself, the more it looks like you have something to hide.
And see, that was the problem. And this is what's happening to the same exact thing. And it's the same exact people, of course. It's happening to Mutahar that happened to Flamenco. It's that you trying to like do all of these gymnastics to try to like prove to them that you're not like this, and stabbing anyone in the back that you possibly can to try to like prove your innocence or whatever. It just, to them, it just makes you seem more guilty. They don't think that, they was like, oh no, actually Mutahar was totally right. He's totally fine. There's nothing going on here. It just makes them be like, okay, well, why did you delete the stream? Why'd you say one thing and then say another and then say another and then like end your podcast and then come back and say, well, actually the podcast isn't over. Actually, the podcast is over. Like his flipping and flopping and constantly like going back and forth depending on who like talked to him last and like bullied him last. Like that just makes like it look like there's something bad behind the scenes that he's trying to deflect from, which I don't think there even is. It's just, he's such an ultra centrist that he like tries to mold his opinions and perspectives to try to be as least offensive as possible, to try to keep as many people watching him as humanly possible. And so because of that, if you have enough subscribers or enough clout, you can bully him into doing literally whatever the hell you want. And that's why I brought up Keemstar, because I think Keemstar was in there behind the scenes exacerbating it and bullying the shit out of him, and getting him to like, go out there and publicly disavow Nux and say stuff that just straight up wasn't true.
The thing about Muda, I said this on Twitter, I think he's just a fucking coward.
He's 100%. He is a coward.
Yeah. I think he needs to be a centrist, not for views so much, but he needs to feel smart. He needs to feel
it's
like
Reddit.
Yeah, he's Reddit. You see it when he talks to people or how he talks about people, when he gets involved in group chats. You see the way he addresses, whenever he talks like to somebody who's like in the crosshairs, he always has that tone to him. It's hard to explain, but it feels like he needs to be not the enlightened, that's wrong. But like the guy that gets it when everyone else doesn't.
The authority.
He needs to be the guy. He needs to be the adult in the room. That's what it is.
Yeah, there you go.
He needs to feel like the adult in the room. And to do that, he needs to be an ultra-centrist because leftists say crazy stuff. And guys on the right, like, 4chan dudes on the right say crazy stuff. And, well, he's got to make sure that he's the adult in the room so he can't be too close to them or he'll lose his position. So he's this insecure coward that needs to have that status in his head. So he will craft his beliefs based on what he thinks will put him above the two camps. He is trying, like, if there's two wings, he's trying to balance on the bird's back as much as he can. And it's falling, it's causing it to fall. You can't do that. You can't. You have to, like, find a comfortable side to sit on that fucking bird. You can't balance on its spine. You're going to fall. And even if you're just slightly left, slightly right, you don't need to be an extremist at the end of the wing, but you can't straddle that complete middle, or you're just going to fall on your face. Because you need principles, you need beliefs that you stick to, that you adhere to.
I mean, the history of the internet's littered with people that try to play the centrist thing, right? I mean, you just look at Internet Blood Sports is a great example. Like, look at how many people in there crashed out because they tried to do this, I am actually, I'm the centrist, I don't agree or disagree, I have no strong feelings one way or the other. And, then they were all in a Discord together, posting people's addresses and stuff, I mean.
Yeah. Or just the people that tried to be the mediators, the hosts of internet blood sports. Like, you're all a bunch of children bickering each other, but I'm the puppet master, you know? Well, look how well that turned out.
Yeah, all of the hosts of all of those shows suffered a terrible fate.
Yeah.
Every one of them.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's like you can't really, no one's truly neutral. Like, everybody's got a perspective, everybody's got a position.
There is nothing more self-destructive than the pursuit of being above everybody. If you try to be above everybody else around you, you're just going to fall apart. You know, you can't support yourself on your tippy toes. You know, just stand on the level with everybody else. There's going to be people you're better than, there's going to be people you're worse than. Just accept it. You can't be the adult in the room. You can try to be one of many adults in the room, but trying to be the grown-up when everyone else just doesn't get it or just doesn't understand, but you do, it doesn't work that way. You're not special. People are special. Groups are special, not the collective, but groups are special, and they're special because they earn it in one way or another. If you're going to earn special, that's great. Earn special. But you cannot craft yourself into special. You cannot attain the title of special. You have to earn that shit. And Muda he thinks if I just come off as smart, well, you know, I think what it is he got a whiff of that being like so knowledgeable about cybersecurity and tech shit more than most, that it gave him a taste of that being the authority on something, being the guy that knows it all in the room. And he wanted to apply that elsewhere. He wanted to apply that to his takes and worldview. No, it doesn't work like that. And he is now reaping. And I don't think he's done, but I think he will never be as universally regarded as he was by so many people. I mean, I always knew he was kind of fucking shifty like this. He always gave me those vibes, the vibes that I've been talking about. But it's another person. It's kind of like Shadman. Like, when everyone was like, he's the cool edgy guy, and a lot of people were running defense for him, I kind of knew, like, this dude's just fucking creepy. This is an actual pedophile. Like, Oni plays, guys. Why are you palling around with this dude? I get it, Newgrounds, you know, but this is an actual pedophile. So I feel vindicated in a very similar way. Like, this kind of guy was a shiftless coward. And yeah, there you go. This is why I'm so just judgmental. My instincts are usually pretty spot on.
Yeah, like you've been right about a lot of this stuff over the years. That's why I just listen to you. I mean, just like, oh yeah, Cody said, he's like, yeah, this anime sucks. And then I watch it, I'm like, oh yeah, that does suck. Cody was right.
Yeah, as I said early on the Vic shit, this is getting grifty. This is getting real grifty. And then what happened? It got real grifty. So again, this is why I'm so fucking smug. Because the universe bends over backwards to prove me the fuck right. Like, I'm trying to be humble. The world won't let me.
Yeah, and that's not to absolve. That's not to absolve Nux of anything either, because because in the same vein that Mutahar always tried to be like the adult in the room, Nux did the exact same thing. And he did and this is where I'm gonna, bring up the Flamenco thing again, because Flamenco tried to cater himself to the commentary community, and so he would adopt like different positions than what he normally would say in order to fit in. And he doesn't do that anymore, apparently. So he learned a valuable lesson from all the stuff that happened. But Nux is having to learn that same exact lesson, that like, you try to run away from the content that you made before and the person that you were before to try to cater to a new audience, and it doesn't really work that way.
Yeah, no.
Because he comes from the anime community. And he tried to change his stances on things to try to be like, no, it's the black and white thing about loli, like we were talking about. He was trying to say, well, actually it's all bad. Well, yeah, Nux, but what about all that stuff you did in the past? Like, are you like saying that, are you saying that you're a diddler? Because I don't think you are.
Yeah, it's
And in the same vein, like Mutahar did the same. Mutahar did the exact same thing. I think he said, what was the quote exactly? He said, hentai in a high school setting is loli, which it's not.
It's insane. It's insane.
That was the craziest thing I've literally ever heard. His definition of what loli would be like Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah,
because Gohan went to high school in that one part of the series. Like that's crazy.
Yeah, I've said before, like the people that have to like look wiki someone's age is stupid. It's all about the glance rule.
Yeah, High School of the Dead is loli. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's the glance rule. Do they look underage at a glance? No, fair game. Do they have big, luscious breasts and childbearing hips? Yes, then I do not care what their lore age is.
Actually, Jotaro Kujo is like 14 years old. Therefore, he is a Yoda.
Don't fucking care. like that's insane. Like
it's the dumbest shit imaginable.
Because when your dick is looking at visuals only, because it's an image, it's fiction.
That's what I say. It's a cartoon. It's not real.
Yeah.
Period. That's it.
So if your dick is reacting to the visuals of the cartoon, is reacting to the visuals of the cartoon. So if that visuals has G-cup breasts and an hourglass figure and hips to match those tits, your neurons will activate. Because that's how you procreate. That's the genetics. That's what is supposed to make your seek and destroy kick in. So it doesn't fucking matter if the background is a fucking high school. If you see breasts and hips and ass, and that is getting you going, and well, are those breasts and hips and ass finished? Oh, they are. Well, there's absolutely nothing pedophilic about that. And if you're trying to make it pedophilic, you're insane and you should not be taken seriously. In fact, I believe that if you try to make that case, nothing else you say should be taken seriously, because no one should trust the brain that came to that conclusion. Because if it came to that conclusion, if that's the fucking weird routing it makes to make conclusions, what else is it fucking up? You can't be trusted. There are some takes that you can't, like, once someone makes it, everything else gets disregarded. And not even like bad takes, there are certain kinds of crazy takes that call into question a person's ability to logic and reason. And that's one of them. Like, if you're going to take a fully developed woman with huge breasts, because let's be real, if it's an anime and a woman's got breasts, they ain't tiny. Usually. Unless it's like, it's a smattering of different cup sizes and it's a choose your favorite type thing.
Like a harem. Like a harem.
Yeah.
like
exactly.
Like Tenchi.
Yeah, it's like what cup size you into, and even then, like, they'll still be developed breasts. Some women have smaller breasts despite being older. If those breasts are breasts and those hips are finished, or they're out, they go outward. Once it goes from the waist and then extends outward, that tells the brain finished. Even if technically six underage people are developed, yeah, we have laws for that and everything, but this is a drawing. And typically, in real life, there are deeper indicators of a young age that extend beyond that don't really get conveyed within a drawing. You have to be able to draw hyper fucking realistically to convey that kind of nuance. Like, it's not being conveyed. Or character style. Like, she has big eyes because she's like, kind of an airhead, oblivious type. She's supposed to be like innocent. Like, that's what the big eyes are. Rukia has shorter and smaller on the chest than Orihime. Technically older. She's just short. So
what's always been so stupid about this debate is that they don't have this debate about movies or television shows. Like I got like this tweet I just pulled up here. Because Keemstar co-assigned the hentai in a high school setting thing. He watched Euphoria. I don't know if you know what Euphoria is, but it had Sydney Sweeney in it. But they're all it's like a highly sexualized like high school show.
Everyone was talking about that shit when it was out. Like, everybody was talking about it.
Yeah, you wouldn't
Yeah, but-
make the same argument for Euphoria that you would for like Bleach. It's just because Bleach is a cartoon and yeah, cartoons are cringe.
Yeah.
And a lot of people watch
Yeah.
Euphoria, but you would never see someone seriously trying to call Euphoria CSAM. But by their logic, it is. And they're so internet brained that they can't see that they're literally making that argument. In fact, it would be closer to it because it's not cartoons, it's not fiction, it's real people in that show. Granted, all of them are above the age of 18, all the actors and actresses, but it's simulated. It's simulated. They're pretending to be younger. And that's why this entire debate is fucking retarded. It's not black and
Absolutely.
white. It's not, it's all okay or all of you are pedophiles. No, there's a line, and when you cross that line, wood chipper.
As I say, the only time I'm suspect to someone if they're unironically going ooh cunny. Like, obviously, like if they're doing it as a joke, that's one thing. But if that's like their real correspondence, now I'm suspicious. It's that kind of thing. You recognize it's reading the room. I know the internet has turned everybody autistic, but you read the room. It's like with a loli Vtuber. Well, is she being weird about it? Is she courting, like, oh, I'm so young and innocent, don't rape me, tee-hee. Is she doing that? No? Then what's the problem? Is she even supposed to be a loli? Is she just like a nyana banana type? Is she just a cute chibi thing? Like, what is she going for? Like, you read the goddamn room. And these people can't read the room, or they don't want to. They don't want to. Yeah.
Because once
They
again,
want those
it's
clicks,
they want those clicks, they want that clout, and that is the problem. And I 100% understand why Spooky just like left Twitter, because it's like this is the shit that dominates the conversation now. Is that people are trying to come up with these gotchas on other people over like the stupidest shit. But if you just try to break down their arguments for 5 seconds, you realize, yeah, actually, no, you can accuse them of shit too.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what's so stupid about it. Because I really don't think that any of these people are diddlers. And if it comes out that they are, I'll admit I'm wrong. I'll just straight up say, yeah, I was wrong. I'm an idiot. And leave it at that. I'm dumb. I'm stupid. I don't think any of these people are diddlers. I don't think any of these people will ever, like, if you looked at their shit, I don't think they'll have anything on their fucking hard drives. I don't think they'll have any like secret sex offender registry stuff. I don't think any of them are. It's just stupid internet stuff.
Yeah. The worst you could say about Nux is he's probably so coon brain porn addicted that he's like he's got a weird fetish in there somewhere, whether it's like inflation or giantess or something. There's something lurking in there. I think it's more like his hentai is getting like the implication-y that he doesn't get. Like he probably saved a bunch of manga like dojins that are like, oh no, I'm a grade schooler. Oh, my teacher's touching me. And
he's got the boy soprano on the hard drive.
Yeah, he just don't get. He's just so because you get porn addicted. You start the lines blur. You don't view the reality really of what you're seeing.
They got to go for like the weirder and more esoteric stuff.
Yeah, and that really happens when you're porn addicted to hentai because it's fiction, because it's drawings. So you'll just like I guarantee he's fabbed to like lolly shit of like the girl saying her age and getting molested by a dude, and anyone that read it like but like you can't see the face I'm making, so I don't know if my sound maybe is conveying, but my sound might convey something else.
I'm just imagining the One Piece like cringed face.
Yes,
I'll go find one real quick because I know that's the exact face you're making.
Yeah, like that's the face that anyone else. But when you're so porn addicted and hentai addicted that you're like ooh, lolly. You just see lolly as another anime creature to fuck. You know what I mean? It's not oh, this is a representation of a child. Yeah, that face.
Yeah, that's the face.
Straight up the face I'm making. Yeah. Yeah. It's like the loli just becomes another anime creature to fuck, as opposed to a representation of a child. And again, it is a representation of a child, but again, it's still fiction. It's still half the time it's still memes. You know, it's not that serious. There's a fucking middle ground here, people.
Well, so I said, there's a line that you don't cross.
Yeah, just don't get pervy with the obvious child. Like if a girl is like an anime girl is short and petite, and the lines are kind of blurred. You just kind of throw up your hands like, who fucking cares?
It's the Rebecca from Cyberpunk situation.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure she was just supposed to be short. But if they're like, oh, I'm 8 years old, tee-hee, don't touch me there, it tingles. Now we have a problem.
That's a little weird.
Now we have a fucking problem. And it's like, yeah, this seems so simple. This seems so obvious.
Well, it's because there's no such thing as nuance on the internet, because nuance doesn't get you clicks. Nuance doesn't cause drama. Nuance doesn't allow you to post the banger tweet exposing this YouTuber as a predator.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think all these guys got exactly what they deserve. Like Nux wanted to cozy up to be. I've said before, Nux. I don't know if he's a good guy or not. I don't know him, but behavior-wise, he comes off to me like the guy that was not popular growing up, probably picked on, desperately now wants friends. Didn't have friends growing up, wants them now more than anything, and he will compromise himself to get friends. He will bend over and just be absolutely humiliated to get friends. We saw it with Vshoujo. We see it with Muta.
Yeah, Nux was right. Nux was 100% right about Vshoujo.
Mm-hmm.
And most of them agreed with him at first, but then management came down. I watched the stream from Armchair about it when he talked about the total talent freedom. Well, obviously there isn't total talent freedom, because all of them issued a very similar statement about what happened, and they all kind of kicked Nux out of the community. They were all pretty close to Nux, and he did a good thing. So for those in the chat that don't know, there was somebody that was pretending to be Vshoujo and pretending to take applications for people to apply, and they were using those applications to dox VTubers. And Nux found out about it, and he told management, and they worked together to shut it down and help the people that had this happen to them.
Mm-hmm.
And then Vshoujo management at some point came out and decided Nux was the bad guy.
Because he showed them up, because they should have been on this, and it took a YouTuber to do it, and it was hurting their reputation.
Yeah. Because they were fine with it at first, but then all of a sudden when the reputation came in, people were like, oh, Vshoujo just kind of let that happen, didn't do anything about it, till Nux brought it to everyone's attention. It's like, yeah, you effed up. You screwed up.
Mm-hmm.
And they blamed, and at first, like I said, the VTubers were, they're like, oh yeah, Nux did a good thing. And then, management stepped in. They were like, oh no, actually we have to, roundly denounce him. And the same thing happened again recently, with the Fruit document that Fruit dropped, like Kason had some very big opinions about it, and they made her delete it. And she admitted that management told me to delete that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's I'm trying to collect my thoughts. Nux, I find pathetic. I don't hate him because I don't know enough about him as a person, but he infuriates me. Not just because he's very try-hard. I don't think I could hold a conversation with him, because he just always seems like he has to be performative. Maybe it's autism, I don't know. He's super performative. He can't just convey something. Guys, I have to really tell you about this thing. Okay, you guys have no idea what's going on right now, but I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you about it. So strap in, and I'm gonna tell you. Just talk normal. Between that and it's like it's the autism with an endless wellspring of energy. That's like he's on speed. He's on some kind of drug. He's on some kind of chemical. And I say this as a person that drinks nothing but Pepsi, that has caffeine running through my system at all times.
Oh yeah, I drink a shitload of soda, of Dr. Pepper Zero and Gamer Subs.
Yeah. So I say this, you have some kind of fucking chemical running through your system, and I can't stand it. And that combined with the pathetic please like me, it feels like he'll even adopt viewpoints to be liked. Just what do I have? This is a guy that's just this nerdy kid with that's jittering. His leg is constantly shaking. He's like, okay guys, okay, what do I gotta do? What do I gotta do to make you like me? I just want friends. I just need friends right now. I need friends. I need a friend circle. I need confidants. I need companions. I need nakama. What do I gotta do? What do I gotta do? What do I gotta do? What do I do? Tell me what to do. Tell me what to say. I just need friends.
And this is why people aren't rushing to Nux's defense on this, is because Nux did the same thing Mutahar did, and he was like, with the black and white thing, he's like, all loli is pedo shit. Period.
Yeah.
Without a hint of irony, because like a lot of his content in the past had to do with that.
Yeah.
And Mutahar's the same way. Mutahar read some sussy manga back in the day. What was it called? Dropout. Mutahar basically had his own Boy Soprano moment before Boy Soprano. And like he's basically making an argument against himself now. But this is what they do. Because they're trying so desperately not to get owned that they shrivel up and turn into a corn cob.
It's all you have to do is say, how hard it would be like, yeah, you know what? That was a long time ago. I was kind of dumb back then. I didn't really understand things like I know do now. Even if you didn't like that new stance, at least that would make you seem more
normal,
that would make the person
rational,
seem more normal, principled, trustworthy. That you won't just change your viewpoints based on what you think the Overton window is. I can trust what you say because I think it comes from a place that you've put thought into what you're saying. You're not just saying what you think you need to say. And like the fact that none of them are able to do that.
They're not able to just be honest. Just straight up be honest. If your opinions have really changed, then say, yeah, your opinions on this stance have changed. If they haven't, then just stand up for, yourself and just be like,
stand up for your fucking unpopular opinion.
Yeah, just be like
what it is.
Just either be like, yeah, I've changed, that's not who I am anymore and, whatever, or be like, they're just cartoons, bro, who gives a shit. Then just stand on it and just plant your flag and say, that's it. That's the tweet.
Mm-hmm. Look, if Pippa could be brave enough to go on stream in front of thousands of people and say she thought Joker 2 was good, what's stopping you?
Right, yeah. Like that was like the shittest take of shit takes. Yeah. And she stood afterward chat and said, no, it is the chat who is wrong.
Yeah, I mean, if you have an unpopular opinion, even if it's something trivial, you still stand by it. Like, don't change your opinion. I'm not going to come out here and say, actually, like I said on here before, I think Legend of Korra is better than Last Airbender. I just do. Slightly better, but better. I'm not going to come in here and change that later. Well, we got ER on the show. So
ER on the show, who's, the biggest Korra fan of all time.
Yeah, we got ER on the show. So actually, you know what? I think Last Airbender was really great. No, I'm not going to do that. If anything, they'll just make for better content. But
yeah, I think people would pay good money to see you and ER talk about which is better, Last Airbender or Korra.
Yeah. Well, I think I would come from the position more like, no, they're all really not that great. Just one's just slightly better. It's like, Korra's terrible. Yes, so Zang. You kidding me?
Yeah, chat's like, ER's favorite show is Legend of Korra. Yeah, they would just agree, right?
I knew a guy that I watched. There's nothing that drives me crazy more than people's opinions are malleable based on their favorite content creator,
who they're talking to, or who they watch.
I knew a guy that when he was watching Legend of Korra, he dug it. We would talk about it when new episodes come in. Whether
that's a nice take. Did a YouTuber give it to you?
Exactly. That shit pisses me off. Like this guy, when it was airing, Cora was airing, we talked about what we liked, what we didn't like, what we thought was cool or stupid, whatever about a new episode. And then, he's like, yeah, it was pretty good. Especially season 1 and 3. It was great. And then he started watching the ER videos, and I just hates Cora. I was like, wait a minute, what about all the stuff like when we were watching it? When you were freshly watching it, you just came off of an episode, and you were like, yeah, it was good stuff. But now, funny internet man made a joke about it, and all of a sudden now your opinion has changed. Just how small are your balls? Tell me, just how small? Like we talking like marble? We talking bead? How small are we talking here?
We're talking the size of a proton?
Yeah. It's like, I've seen stuff that made really funny jokes at the expense of media I enjoy. I still enjoy it. Like, yeah, no, you're right. That part sucked. I still liked it. That is. It's like, yeah, how hard is it? I think there's something about the need people have to be part of the in-group that I think the internet came on us so fast. There's still growing pains, right? I talked about this before. We're still kind of adjusting to the effects of social media and the internet. And I think one of them is that adopting, because people always kind of adopted other people's opinions, right? Like AM radio hosts have influenced how many people's politics. But I think it's like becoming such a visible problem that we're still kind of working on it, because it feels like, how hard is it to just not adopt someone's opinion because you like them? Like, can't you just have your own opinion? You go to people like, okay, dude, I need to know what to think about this. Just watch the thing. Or if
make your own informed opinion. You're like just because a YouTuber tells you something doesn't mean you need to immediately believe it, because spoiler alert, YouTubers aren't always right. YouTubers don't always have good takes. I mean, look, honestly, I love Pippa. I love Pippa, but saying Joker 2 is good. That's a tweet. That is the tweet of all time.
Yeah. And like, you have things like, I think there's this pack mentality going on. This is my theory. The pack mentality going on. Humans have always kind of had it. You have like, alpha type people, right? They just influence others. And some people are just made to be influenced. Nietzsche called it the slave mentality. They're just made to be directed by someone else.
This is your song, do.
Like, not a literal slave, but like some people just need to be directed by another person. This has always existed. And I think there's this intimidation factor on the internet that comes with a witty person. I think someone is clever enough and witty enough, they intimidate people on the internet. It becomes like in the, let's say, the movie or stereotypical old depiction of high school or around middle school. There's the big tough bully and his toadies. And like the guys who just kind of follow him because he's the strongest dude.
Yeah, Biff.
And I think
Biff from Back to the Future.
Yeah. And then like you have that in like prison, right? The big strong guys run the prison. The scariest dude runs the prison. And I think that kind of applies online with the funniest or sharpest witted dude, because the only presence you have online is communication, is text. You can't, that's why people laugh at internet tough guys. You can't beat somebody up on the internet. You can't. You only have your words and your wits. So whoever's the wittiest guy can essentially beat up everybody in internet terms. So people will start following the wittiest guy on the internet because he's the Biff. And I think ER does have a little bit of that. Like Mr. Medicare absolutely has that.
Oh yeah, 100%. I was about to say he could be the trope namer for that one.
Mm-hmm.
Because
like, Mr. Medicare, love him to death. We had him on the show. Great time talking. That dude, salt of the earth. But he does have a lot of orbiters. Like that dude's got some simps.
Yeah, I'm definitely one of them. Guilty as charged.
But even beyond that, I think even beyond you just see some of the people that just like, it's like, I think it's a lot of young people too, that just worship him. And I don't think he likes it, to be honest. That's the vibe he gives me. Like, the vibe he gave me when we were talking to him, and the vibe he gives me when like, he appreciates it, but I think he doesn't want to be held on a pedestal, and people put him on a pedestal. And
I think he just wants to be just a regular guy that just makes funny videos on the internet and shit talks and Like he even admits, the only reason he even did the merch store and the hat stuff is because, he wanted to leave some money behind for his wife when he finally passes away. Like you get the feeling that he became popular kind of by accident. And then, after everything after that was just kind of like, well, he's still the same guy. He doesn't really want people to, like I said, put him up on a pedestal and be like, he's so much better than everyone else. He's like, no, I'm just a guy.
He doesn't want to be venerated.
Yeah.
But because he is, in terms of communication, he's the toughest guy. Like you can't smack talk him back. People have tried. He pretty much wins every exchange he's in. Because
he doesn't care. That's the whole point.
Exactly.
It doesn't matter what you say. It doesn't matter if he's right or wrong. He just doesn't care. And if you care even a little bit more than he does, you end up looking like an asshole.
Yeah, you're gonna lose. I think the only really time Mr. Medicare ever took an L was when he backed Internet Blood Sports. Like he got behind Internet Blood Sports, he defended it from people that were calling it like stupid and shit, and then the whole thing collapsed. Like I see why he liked it. But
well,
if you remember, he put out a video.
The premise is like, great. It's like, let's get two retards in a call with each other and scream at each other. And like it was like, oh my God. It's like manna from heavens. Like, this is the greatest thing ever. Let's just get two retards to scream at each other for like 30 minutes.
It wasn't sustainable.
No,
it wasn't sustainable. Yeah, and I think that's really the only time Mr. Medicare ever took an L was when he defended blood sports. He kind of put his backing behind blood sports, and then it all fell apart. And he went after the people behind blood sports. He didn't, run Defense Force for Tonkaso or anything, but it's one of those things like if you see like an archive of that video of him defending blood sports, it's like, this did not age well. And I think that's like the one L he's ever taken. And that's even not that
it wasn't
big
even
of an
really,
L.
it really wasn't his L. It was, the
it was
L.
Just backing the wrong horse.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the worst it was. So when that's the biggest L you have is just backing the wrong pony. That's kind of why he's so just worshipped by some people. Because it's the internet. So all you have is wit. All you have is communication. The best communicator, the wittiest guy, the funniest guy, the best dunker, the best at the Dunkaroos, they're the alphas online. And I think with YouTubers, you have that. Like, I think the reason that ER flipped this guy that I used to know, like, flipped his opinion completely wasn't, I'm not saying ER made no good points, because people hear me say Korra's better than Last Airbender, and they think so highly of Last Airbender, they think I must think that highly of Korra. Like, no, this whole franchise is just okay-ish, good. This one's slightly gooder. So it's like, well, what about this? No, that's true. That's true. You're not wrong. So I'm not saying that the criticisms he has are not founded, but I think those are not what convinced this guy, this old friend of mine. I think it is that ER is funny, and just the idea of arguing ER is scary to some people because, like, oh well, he'll just come up with a really good burn, and you'll look like a fool in front of everybody if you tried to argue with ER on this point. So I should instead get behind him. Because if I'm against him, I will look silly and stupid. He will make a fool of me. And that is the scariest thing online, because, again, there's nothing else on the internet to fall back on, right? Like, if you're in person with a group of friends and one friend looks stupid, but, like, he's, like, good-looking, has a hot girlfriend in a house, that matters, in real life. So if you look stupid in the moment, you have something else that prevents you from truly collapsing in people's mind's eye. Whereas on the internet, you are only your communications. That's all you are. Unless they know more about you, which they probably don't. So if your communications fail, you failed. You are a failure. You have nothing. And I think that's why you get, bringing it back to the topic at hand, as I took the scenic route to this point. I think that people, even like a lot of these clout chasers, get intimidated by the same thing. When on the internet, all you have is your communications, you're terrified of the dunk, the good dunk, that one tweet that someone just says something short and clever
and pithy,
and they get that Justin Wang retweet. and it blows up. And you look like a horse's ass because you were the ass end of that real pithy remark. And it's fucking terrifying to some people. And people don't realize, yeah, you might like catch a momentary L, but just wait. It'll either pass or you'll be vindicated or everybody will forget. Just fucking wait. Just mute. And it happened during when I told off Dev. I told off Short Fat Otaku. Initially, when I made my remarks to him, not the Pippa clip, but just when I quote tweeted him. That quote tweet got a lot of likes and everything, but then he responded, then I responded, and his response, and then my response. His response had more likes than mine. And then I just waited, and then I ratioed him. Just let more people see. But they're afraid of that instant moment of getting ratioed in the moment, getting pithied in the moment, and so they just do whatever they can. It's this coward's dance to adopt whatever opinion they think is safe and will avoid that terrifying quote tweet that ruins their entire week. And if you're terrified of the quote tweet, get off social media. You know, if the quote tweet is such a albatross around your neck, fuck off the internet. Fucking internet. Get out of here.
But something I always say to people, it's something I've always said to people, if you cannot handle the internet, don't be on the internet. And there's so many people like we hadn't even talked about the tale of the two taigas, right? Which I guess is kind of relevant because, you know, of Nux and Bungo Taiga. But there was a female taiga that's kind of like a lewd tuber or whatever. And she released that like Google Doc on Taiga, and it was just like the most ridiculous thing I'd ever seen in my life. Mm. And it really boiled down to like she just could not handle attention and crashed out. Like she got a little bit of criticism and just like immediately crashed out. It's like, if you cannot handle the internet, get off the internet, because all the internet is people's opinions. If opinions make you upset, if opinions make you frustrated, if you can't handle the fact that other people have opinions, how dare they? The internet's not for you.
You know what? If an interaction isn't fun anymore, I mean, getting stressed about the internet's kind of dumb to me. But if it's just not fun anymore, there's 3 dots in the upper corner of any given tweet. And once you hit those 3 dots, there's this little phrase, and it says, "Mute this conversation." Click it, and watch all your cares melt away. And if someone starts saying some stupid shit, tags you in it, ats you with some statement about how you're the worst thing ever, you can hit those 3 little things again, and there's things like mute or block. I prefer mute because block people see as a victory. Mute just it gets the shit out of your hair without any more. I don't know. It's less performative. It's just, I don't want to listen to this, and I don't want to make it a thing. Just mute. There we go. It's out of my hair. It's out of my life. Fly away, birdie. It's not that hard. Just do it. Just make it. It makes it go away. Don't put on a whole fucking... Now, if you feel the need to explain yourself in the moment, that's fine. But if it keeps going on, just eventually accept that it's just not happening. It's out of your control, whatever the case may be, and just let it go. Let it go. There's just a lot of people that just aren't built for the internet. And I think the 2 boys up on screen right now are 2 boys that were not built for the internet, despite how terminally online, especially Nux is. I think there are aspects of the internet that they are just not equipped to handle. And
yeah, I think you're right. And it boils down to the fact that they just can't handle when they are the subject of criticism. They can't handle they physically can't handle it, because both of them are very similar in the fact that they absolutely need to be liked by as many people as possible. And if something happens that makes them feel like more people dislike them now, they will 100% flip on a dime and completely change their entire system of values to try to appeal to the group that's criticizing them. And Boogie's another great example. He does the same thing. That he will literally roll over on his belly and do whatever you tell him to do in order to get people to stop making fun of him, stop criticizing him.
Mm-hmm. Boogie's a prime example of should never been on the internet. Like he's just not built for it.
No, he's just absolutely not.
I mean, he's not built for a lot of things.
Hi-yo!
But yeah, I think a lot of people that get e-famous, like, because they got e-famous from like doing something they just liked and it blew up, and they just were not ready. They were not prepared for fame. You know, they were just trying to have fun on the internet, and it blew up, and then they just like got wrapped up in all that shit. I think that's why a lot of them. I have a theory that this is why so many content creators flirt with minors. I don't think that it's a lot of people are pedophiles. I think banging underage people is how people that are like high on their own power. It's like the only way you can have sex with your own clout. It's how you have sex with your own power, is to be so above the law that you can get away with the ultimate taboo. Like, I think it's why a lot of rich elites do that. I don't think we just have a wave of pedophile rich elites. I think it's like the worst possible thing you can fuck. So like, yeah, I'm gonna fuck it. Because only I can get away with fucking it. If anybody else fucked it, their life would be ruined and they'd be in jail. But I can do it. If we made it illegal and had like a blanket morality thing where everybody thought it was the worst thing you could possibly do to stick your dick in a watermelon, like,
are you telling me every politician would be sticking their dick in a watermelon right now?
Yes. If you could just brainwash the populace to find the most reprehensible thing in this world is to stick your dick in a watermelon, right? Like, I mean, like, they hear that, like, some little girl got molested, like, well, it could be worse. The guy could have stuck his dick in a watermelon. Like, in that level of brainwashed, guarantee you, the child sex trafficking would stop, and there'd just be watermelon farms.
There'd just be watermelon farms all over California?
Yes, just like secret watermelon farms. Like, why isn't this watermelon farm accounted for on any of the books? Why is it when everyone tries to trace back the funding of this watermelon farm, they get killed? It's like, that 100% would happen. Because it's just, how can I enjoy my position of influence to its highest caliber? Well, it's to have that which is the most forbidden. And I think that's why so many of these fucking content creators that are just not ready for fame, they just can't handle it, they start flirting with minors. Because, like, I can get away with fucking the unfuckable. Because I'm Mr. Important. I have so much clout. I wield it like a spirit bomb. Like, I can do anything. It's like the motherfucker that just gets like so hopped up on adrenaline. I can do anything. I can take on the world. Like, I can have sex with a minor. Wait, what?
It's like, no, bro, no. The fuck is wrong with you?
It's the rock star that lets the 14-year-old groupie in. You know what I mean? It's like, hey, let's push it. Let's push it. Let's go deeper. Let's go farther. I can get away with it. Rock star, baby, woo! It's just some people just shouldn't be where they are, but they got there by chance. Some people can handle it. You got your JonTrons, you got your PewDiePies, and some people they just collapse in on themselves, even with that fraction of what JonTron and PewDiePie have. They're gonna. Oh my God! You know what this? I just realized what they are. I don't know if you've ever heard of this. There's a sketch on Kids in the Hall, a Mad with Power, where this guy, me and one of my oldest friends from back. My buddy, I think I mentioned this friend of mine. He's like the crazy guy that's like has a really important job I can't talk about. I've been friends with this guy since like fucking middle school, and we've been referencing our entire friendship this fucking sketch of the Mad with Power, where this guy gets promoted like second assistant manager in charge of supplies and goes instantly mad with power, and like he starts like Like, no one gets to drink water no one gets to drink water from the water fountain without my permission, and no one gets my permission. And he just starts turning the water fountain on, like shoveling water into his mouth. Tasty. He just starts going nuts, like Jenkins, you have to work under your desk from now on. He just goes fucking crazy. I was like, I'd fire you if I had a little more power. I've gone mad with my moderate amount of power. And your stream ended, by the way.
No, it was the
Discord. Yeah,
hiccup.
making sure anything didn't go wrong. Yeah, he was mad with his moderate amount of power, and then like you see him later. He's just fired, and he's wearing all this jewelry, like he's just gone full gangster rapper. Like even though he's like second assistant manager, and that's how a lot of these content creators feel. Like you ain't even rock star level, and you're already trying to live the rock star life. You're already trying to be crazy, do crazy shit. You're already trying to break the rules and all this shit. It's like, you ain't even there yet.
Someone chat said, isn't that The Office? I mean, yeah. Like, if you think about it, like, Michael Scott is kind of that guy that he's just mad with power.
Yeah. And that's like content creators, man. It's like some dude will just get, like, a few 100K subs and just start, I'm going to start running pump and dump scams and flirt with minors. It's like, it's the kids in the hall mad with power. It's probably easy to find the sketch.
I just don't understand what about like fame makes people want to do like fucked up stuff. Like I just don't I can't conceptualize it.
I think it's when it's the pawn at the end of the board. Anytime someone gets a pawn at the end of the chessboard,
they become
what do they upgrade the pawn to? They always upgrade it to the queen.
But you can become a rook, you can become a bishop, you can become a knight.
Yeah. But it's always I want the most power. Like when you go from nothing to having everything at your fingertips, you always seize the most that you can. Not always, but yeah, push limits and feeling that you're untouchable. Exactly. It's if it's starting from the bottom is actually kind of dangerous. Because when you've gone, it's why gangster rappers just go fucking ape shit with their money.
They have that one platinum album, and then they they buy a gold chain with their name on it, but it's misspelled. Yeah,
the limits come off too quick, and they just spill out.
They buy like a $40 million, well, it's probably less, $40 billion McMansion.
Yeah, it's actually not a good thing to go from bottom to top quickly. That's why so many awful people that you deal with, like the cancel culture shit, were people that were picked on in school, that were the underdogs in school. It was the underdog being fetishized and glorified, and you have people that were the unpopular nerds. It's not the fucking popular kids that go on cancel culture brigades. It's the fat girl that got made fun of by the popular kids. And as much as you might feel bad for the fat girl getting made fun of, the fact of the matter is, if you take that fat girl and remove those things holding her down, she doesn't become, I mean, she might, right? This is a blanket statement. But this particular fat girl is not going to become then benevolent now that the force is pushing her down, pushing down her esteem and ego. Now that those forces are released, she's not going to then ascend somewhere healthy. She doesn't want to be happy. She wants to be the people that were picking on her. Because the people that were picking on her had this tantalizing power and influence that she didn't have, but she'd love to have it. It's like you take away power from somebody, like, oh, this person has this power that's too much. I gotta take it away from him. Okay, now I have the power. Okay, now relinquish it. It's the Mount Doom thing again. Cast it into the fire. No. Now that I have the power, I want to use the power. Mm-hmm. It's like so many people that do some kind of social grievance, be it race or culture or whatever. Oh, these people are keeping us down. Well, what do you want to do? Do you want equality? No, I want to keep them down next. Right. Well, it's how racism back in the day, which was against minorities, has turned into racism against white people, because instead of being like, actually, we should have a colorblind society where people get by on the content of their character, not the color of their skin. It's like, no, actually, their skin color matters, and if it's white, it's bad. It's just, I want my turn. That's what it is. That's what it is. It's I want my turn. I want to oppress you because you oppressed my ancestors. it's not fair if we get rid of this power system when I haven't had my
I haven't had the
go-round, you know what I
chance
mean?
to wield it against you.
Yeah, it's like the little kid that gets mad because everybody was passing the controller around, and then mom came in saying everybody go to bed, and he didn't have his round.
It's
with the
not
controller.
fair because I didn't get to play.
Exactly. Now listen, not everybody's like that. I have to say that because dumb people might listen, but there are people who are.
There are
like that.
people who are like that, and there's too many of them, frankly.
Yeah, and you get that with a lot of these people we're talking about today, and a lot of people that you deal with on the internet. It's just if you go from the bottom and shoot to the top, they like that poor downtrodden nerd. Turns out when you take away the thing being mean to them, they're pretty awful too. Sometimes bad people are picking on bad people. Sometimes it's bad versus bad. And that's just, I don't know. We've kind of gotten onto this whole big thing. But I thought it was an important point to make because it tied into a lot of the shit.
It's a
we were
very
talking about
salient
today.
point.
Yeah.
Because you see this a lot, especially in this situation. You see the same sort of thing. You know, everybody
It's bad
wants
versus
to be
bad is
the
what we're looking
dunker.
at.
Nobody wants to be the dunked.
Bad versus bad is basically what you're looking at on screen right there. Muta versus Nux is bad versus bad. Like, haha.
They both, they
in-
both like being the dunker that gets to dunk on people, but they really don't like being the one getting dunked on. Like, it's like, oh no, that sucks. Me when I'm reaping, ha, yes. Me when I'm sowing, oh no, that sucks.
Yeah, if you live by the dunk, you die by the dunk. Just don't play that game. Like if you get
Just
a good,
stick
if
to
a
your
good dunk
just
comes
stick to your,
natural-
to your principles. You guys stick to your
Yeah.
principles.
Be real. Be real. Even if it's not popular, doesn't matter. You will be vindicated in the end if you just stick by your guns.
Unless you're Pippa,
We've seen
because
that time
Joker
and
2
again.
sucks.
Yeah.
You will never,
Well,
she will
she's
never be
still-
vindicated.
She's
But she sticks by her
vindicated-
guns, and that's admirable.
Well, but she's vindicated in her popularity and how beloved she is.
That
She
we're
can
willing
have
to
those
forgive her
everything.
for her shit takes.
Exactly.
She's
Because
still
that's
my
what happens.
Oshi.
Exactly. That's what happens when you stick by your guns and you stay principled and you stand firm. Even if you're saying something stupid, you still will at least show that you are trustworthy, and people respect that, and people will gravitate towards you.
Just like Kirsha and her love of Asmongold. I don't understand it. I can't accept it. But you know what?
Kind of like Asmongold. He's there.
Oh, look, I like Asmongold. But Kirsha being like super mega thirsty for Asmongold, I'm just
That is
like,
weird.
that's not a good, that's a bad take. That's a bad take.
Well, look,
You're still one of
my
my
guess is-
Oshis, but I I can't agree with you on this one specific thing.
it's like I think it's just she's such a commentary person that she likes Asmon. She is attracted to his mind. She likes Asmongold's takes so much that it's made him attractive to her. So it just goes to show you can rope in a girl with your takes alone. Because look at Asmongold. He's got Kirsha getting hard-eyed.
So what you're
This is
telling
a
me,
lesson.
is I can use the power of my mind to attract a wife, a VTuber wife.
Unironically, yes.
God, I wish I,
I mean,
wasn't
look.
so stupid. If only I was smart, I could do it too.
I mean, look, if I nailed me a hottie and I said the most fucked up things around her before she even saw what I looked like. And I snagged it. And if I could do it, it works, man. It fucking works. It's a message of hope to all y'all out there. Before you go Ryan Gosling posting online, just remember that Asmongold could rope in Kirsha with his takes alone, despite everything else he's got going for him. And you too can get your Kirsha. Just, you gotta have good takes. It is a handicap. It is. You gotta have good takes, but still.
It's a handicap,
It can
and
be
I'm definitely handy-capable.
It can be done. Proof that it can be done. I think we should start wrapping this up. I'm getting kind of hungry.
Yeah, well, I think we've really covered the meat and potatoes of the Nux and Muta situation. It's kind of like both of them are at fault. Both of them have done stupid things. Nux should have just kind of stuck by his guns and not tried to mold his opinions to try to fit in with the commentary space. Muta shouldn't have allowed himself to just get bullied around and stab Nux in the back because it was, it was expedient and, got him ass pats from Keemstar and, the people that orbit Keemstar.
I think we should briefly touch on the Hololive stuff.
Yes, that was going to be my next topic because
Before we go, because it's pretty quick now because there's a little less speculation to do. We've seen multiple Hololive talents graduate pretty close together, and other talents have kind of expressed frustrations, and that sort of got people thinking, especially Hololive going public recently. Like maybe going public is kind of maybe damaging the company because usually companies go public and it a lot of times doesn't go too well. I think it's a bit of an overgeneralization. I mean, Fauna, yeah, graduating, and then Chloe
as well, and of course we just had Amelia.
Yeah, Amelia, and
Aqua.
Aqua too. Yeah.
Yeah, don't forget Aqua too in this whole thing.
And, the frequent thing they cite is problems with management or the company going in a direction that they're not down with, and people have speculated it's from going public, which might be a factor. But I don't think it's that big a factor.
I think it's
now we've seen some concerning things.
Yeah, and this is something Kiara. I don't know if you saw Kiara's members stream, but this is kind of something
I did hear the bullet points from it.
Yeah, and it's not just one thing that happened with Cover and Hololive. It's like a million cuts. Like there's a million different things that have happened, and not everybody has the same million different little cuts as everybody else. Like, especially in Amelia's case, like she wanted the freedom to be able to explore technology and being able to do the things that she's doing now in her new life. She wanted to be able to go out and kind of do those sorts of things and kind of be independent. Whereas with Hololive, she had a schedule, she had set things she had to do. And I think that's one of kind of the common threads is that Cover wanted them to start doing a lot more stuff aside from just streaming. And I think, this is me speculating, but I think a lot of it too is that they wanted them to relocate as well. Now, that's just pure speculation. But from some of the tea leaves that I've been reading, I think that was part of it, is that they wanted them to be more go to the office kind of sort of thing.
Yeah, I think it wasn't so much relocating, but I think just so many trips to Japan also kind of wear them out.
Yeah, because that's a heck of a trip if you're an American. I mean,
yeah,
you go forward an entire day.
Yeah, Cover does need to address some things, and supposedly I haven't seen the statement, but I've heard people say Yago has put out something of a small statement that we hear you, we will be addressing things.
Yeah, he did when he was announcing Fest and all that stuff.
Yeah, and I believe him. He's done it before. Yago has led me to believe that he is competent as a leader. I think just the company growing so much that might have gotten out of his hand. I think we'll see where this goes, but I think it really is just from some of the other statements, some of the interesting ones. Miko addressed some things, and a pretty interesting one. She said, and I believe her phrasing was, the girls are not marshmallows or something to the effect. We're not soft little marshmallows. It's just because management's going to tell us no. Girls are fighting management all the time to get what they want. We're not just going to lie back and accept it and mope because management tells us no. Things are happening behind the scenes that you don't see all the time, and we're fighting for what we want all the time. And not in a management is failing way, but in a we are not poor little girls being beat up by management. But she did say she likes being an idol. She likes that people are concerned are mad because they're concerned about her. That's flattering and everything, and they're concerned about the girls. But don't what's the word, not white knight, but don't get all our poor Oshis of glass. We're strong, independent women. We can handle management. Don't go after the company on our behalf because management's mean. You know what I mean? That was the gist of what she was saying. Crony came out with some statements. Kiara did, and none of it felt like we've seen PR statements, like when everybody's just suspiciously saying the same thing at the same time. This wasn't that. These were very different accounts that seem very real, and I think that's why we have less to talk about now. There's less speculation to do because they did clear up a lot. I think it was Crony that said, was it Crony or someone else? Someone else also made. There were a couple other ones that made remarks that like they're not forcing us to do idle stuff. Like
Yeah, because that was my speculation, is that they were like hitting the idle stuff like 3 times as hard, and that maybe they were burning out. But
yeah,
you know, they
like,
they kind of explained it like, yeah, it's not that they're forcing them to do anything. And they said
it wasn't Crony, it was Koyori, I think. The new Fox, the red girl. She was like, they're not forcing us to do that stuff. We can opt out of things. They don't pressure us to opt into things. She pointed out, like, this person wasn't at this, and this person was this, and I didn't do the GTA thing because that's not my jam. Like, they're not forcing us to do these things. So that's a big one. It's like, I don't think we have much to speculate now, because I think that was a big speculation, was the pushing the, that was my theory, that they were pushing the idle stuff. And they're like, no, she's specifically like, no, we can choose, I've got a song cover coming out, and that's because I wanted to make that song. No one pressured me to make that song. They're not pressuring us to do singing and dancing, that kind of thing. Where it's like, it's. I think it's just, there's just a lot. Kiara really did specify it's like death by 1,000 cuts. And eventually you're like, I could just do better as an indie. I could do what I want as an indie. Like what I'm looking for is an, and I think that's why you have like Amelia, who left but is still part of the company.
Yeah, she kept the door open.
Yeah. She didn't say fuck this, I'm out. Chloe, same thing. Didn't say fuck this, I'm out. Just, I may reappear, but I'm going to go do my own thing, and then occasionally... She just became part-time. They were full-time, and now they're part-time. But they still work there, you know what I mean?
Yeah, they still have they still have their foot in the door if they ever want to like come back and do some collabs and stuff.
Yeah, yeah. And I think that's just... when you hear Fauna disagreements in management, if I had to guess on her reasoning, Fauna's an ASMR person... Cover wants to get away from ASMR because YouTube demonetizes that shit like crazy.
Yeah, I was about to say, this was going to be my next thing too, is that, when she was on her past life, that was kind of her account, was she was an ASMR VTuber. Yeah. And she kind of had to get away from that as Fauna, because YouTube is hardcore cracking down on that stuff. Mm-hmm. Like every single day I see another VTuber that like got dinged for it or had their entire channels deleted.
Yeah, and it's kind of why I'm almost a little disappointed, because I want to check out her new, past life. Not really new, but like I know I'm not going to be interested in the content because she just mainly does ASMR. Like I liked Fauna. Like it's like I'm not attached to like the character. I'm more attached to the person behind him. The character is just a vessel from them for which they entertain.
Because Fauna's great. Like she's funny. Mm-hmm. She's she's I don't know. It's just something. She's got a natural magnetism about her. Yeah,
she's very charismatic, very witty, and it just feels like we're gonna lose that, because she's just probably gonna just go back in a lot of ASMR shit, and we'll just have less funny moments. Like we're gonna have less Lemon Leaf shenanigans than we had with Fauna, because Lemon Leaf will just go to, I don't know, speaking softly to you that you're a good boy, and I'm not about that.
And we're not gonna have as many Moom and Fauna moments.
Yeah. It's like it's almost similar to what happened with K-Son, where it's like a lot of times, a VTuber will go to a new life and still continue the vibe. It's like Doki Bird, right? It's like Selene never left us.
Yeah,
in fact, she just became Yellow Selene.
Yeah, that's basically what she did. Was she said, I want to reclaim everything that I lost. And so what did she do? She got a new model that's very reminiscent of Selene. She kept the same intro. She kept the same fan name. She literally just got everything back. She used the same Oshi mark. She's like, I'm just going to reclaim Selene. I'm just Yellow Selene now.
Yeah, exactly. But even outside of that, she's the content, the vibe, the humor, it's still the same.
Yeah, she didn't change at all.
Yeah.
And that's what
So
I
that's
love
great.
about it, because it's like watching the same stuff.
But then you have something like Kason, where it's not Coco. You know what I mean?
Yeah, she makes
It's not the same.
a totally different style of content now.
And it just feels like she's half retired. Like, it just doesn't feel...
Yeah.
The effort doesn't feel there anymore.
And then you contrast it with somebody like Mint that, it's the same person, but it's just, it's they were able to kind of reinvent themselves as their old self and bring some of the fun from their past life into this one, but still staying true to the original character.
Right. Like, it just feels like if you dug Pomu Rain Puff, you're gonna dig May Mint.
Exactly.
You can just go right from one to the other. It's like she never left. She just changed. It's like a JoJo part. That was part 1 is part 2. You got a new protagonist, but it's the same JoJo. And
Exactly.
That's the only kind of bummer with Fauna. It just doesn't feel like that's going to be the case.
Yeah.
Like, she's just going back to ASMR, and we're going to lose a lot of the fun that was Fauna. And so that's what she wants to do. I'm not going to, like, how dare you? It's a shame. It's like, God damn, I like Fauna. I mean, I could be wrong. Maybe she's got a taste for non-ASMR content. Maybe she'll do a lot more of that. But I just feel like, man, with Lemon Leaf, she's just gonna do that whole, getting that ear-shaped microphone, saying you're a good boy. And if y'all like that, fine. But I ain't about it. So it's like,
Yeah, I've never been about the ASMR stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why
it's a
a
shame.
lot of Yuko's fans got mad at me, because when Yuko Yurei said she was going to stop doing ASMR, I was like, actually based. I liked her gaming streams. She's funny. And I got a lot of shit from her fans for that, because that's what they were there for. And I'm just like, sorry guys, like I get it. I get why you're mad, but that ain't what I'm here for.
Yeah.
I'm not, saying, you guys are weird. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, like, I'm glad that she's catering more towards me. And unfortunately, it didn't work out for her.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's this thing, I think, the saddest part, because I think a lot of these things aren't as sad as they used to be, and they're kind of sad, like, if it's Hololive, because Hololive's got that dynamic to it. Like, you love the Hololive collabs and just the community around it. So, like, if they leave Hololive, then it's like, oh man, they're left that family. You know what I mean? It's like, it's also part of the fans. Like, Holocure, you can get yourself in Holocure, and then you see a graduated character in Holocure. It's like, oh.
Yeah, like when Kason was playing the other day and she unlocked Coco, it was kind of like, it hits you. You're like, damn.
Yeah.
What could have been?
Coco. Yeah.
Good morning, motherfuckers.
Exactly. I miss it. I miss Coco. And it's like, I just wish Kason was a little more Coco. And it's like, I know it's, some people might think that's unfair, but I mean, Coco is Kason. They're the same person. So it's more me saying, I wish you put the energy you put into Coco into Kason, because it does not feel like you do. But it also kind of feels like she's semi-retired, She's just kind of like, she won VTubing as Coco, effectively. She created the EN scene. She was the highest super chat earner in all of YouTube.
It's
At what
V.
point? Yeah. Get your V.
Get your V.
Going back to Tim and Eric. But, like, I guess now it just feels like she's just kind of relaxing on the beach. Still streaming, but not, She's
Well, it's something that Necro talked about the last time he was on the show, the Hollywoodization of the VTubing scene. Kason is, she's in Like a Dragon and the Yakuza games now, doing voice acting and motion capture and stuff, actually playing characters in that. She's kind of like crossing over into that, into more Hollywood-ish sort of stuff. And yeah. I feel like, and because of that, she's kind of semi-retired. Like, she face streams a lot now.
Yeah.
Doesn't do as much VTubing stuff.
Yeah. That's good. I think so it is a bit of an exception there. Like I said, semi-retired, but it's still a shame. Like, I loved her Coco work, and I would have liked to see more of that as Kason. But now I just don't have, like, Coco was my very favorite, and now I just don't have a reason to watch Kason ever. Sad. But I will still want that Pippa Kason collab. Pippa, for God's sake, nut up.
For real, just DM
do
her.
it. Just fucking DM her, Pippa. For God's sake, she'll do it. Everybody wants to see that. It will break the internet.
Yeah, I remember the Pippa, Henya, and Tenma collab. That was dope.
Oh god, that was amazing. It's great because Pippa brought Tenma in as, like, basically to help her with nerves because she fucking loved Pikami and she loved
Tenma was her Tard Wrangler, and it was beautiful.
Yeah. And then Tenma left, and that was some of the best shit after Tenma left.
I know.
And it was like,
Oh
"See,
no,
Pippa?"
Henya! Oh no, my Oshi! I have fucked up the cobblestone generator. I just think of that stupid meme of Mario and Luigi. Oh no, Mario! I have fucked up with the cobblestone generator. I just love that stupid meme so much.
But yeah, it's just sometimes they go into another life and it's like, okay, nothing changed. Great. That's what you want. And sometimes they go on another life and the magic is gone. And like that's always, I guess that's why graduation still kind of hit. It's like, oh, I hope if they come back the magic's still there. I hope it's like a Doki bird made mint or one of those situations.
Or
And it's
Mutahar.
not,
Mutahar is another great
Mutahar.
example.
If anything, Mutahar is better. Like I've watched more Mutahar than I watched. I don't even, what was her? I don't even remember
Nina.
her old name now. Nina, yeah, Nina Kusaka, yeah. I watch more Mutahar than I've watched Nina.
Same.
So, yeah, sometimes you do better as an indie. I think like we were talking in DMs earlier today that it's sort of the new normal now to like start corporate and then leave because you could do more as an indie. I don't know if I 100% agree. I think it's more the corporations are going to have to change to prevent that.
Right.
you're
They're
gonna need
going
to
to
give a
have to
reason.
give a reason for people to not only stay, but to sign up with the corpo in the first place.
Mm-hmm. Like they're gonna. It's like any real like it's like sports. You know, each team needs a reason for that player to play that team, or another team will snatch him up,
Yeah.
give him a better offer.
Well, I'm kind of a college football guy, and I go to a school that's very big into football, or at least I graduated from it. They have this thing called name, image, likeness, or NIL, where colleges can now just straight up pay players. So, it's not just, you live on your name, you live on your prestige, but it's also, what can you offer me to be your starting quarterback? Whether it's like Alabama or Oklahoma or Ohio State, like, who's going to give me the best deal?
Yeah, and right now indies are the best deal, and I think you have something like Holo and Phase Connect right now. I think are the strongest corpos.
They're the most stable.
Because they're the most stable, and they have that community aspect they offer. I mean, I don't have to explain Holo. Phase is growing. They've got a great unit, and with the talents, like they're almost like a family unit. They've got great support and a growing, very loyal fan base. So that's a reason to stay in Phase Connect. You see the loyalty Pippa has for Phase Connect. You see a lot of just the team spirit a lot of Phase Connect talents have. And I think that comes from how well it's run. That it's not too loose, it's not too tight, it's just right. And I think that's why you get so much company loyalty from the Phase Connect girls. So Phase is right there. We have something to offer you in Phase Connect. A stable, sturdy system, a loyal fan base, and good coworkers, good people to work with. A good working environment. That's a good reason to me. If I were a girl VTuber, because Phase Connect don't hire guys. If I were a girl VTuber and I was looking for a company, Phase Connect would be where I'd want to go. Hololive, Giant, they got your back. We know they got your back. They've got an incredibly massive, loyal community that make fucking video games of you. It's just a matter, they're kind of restrictive sometimes. It's a Japanese company. They got that Japanese company bullshit. So some people are like, I don't want to deal with that. But those two right now are the ones that have the most reason to join. There's some smaller ones that you would join, like get in on the ground floor and see where this goes. Like V4 Mirai is doing pretty well. And, if you join that, you're getting on the ground floor of that elevator, seeing where that goes. A lot of these other ones are kind of falling apart. But V4 Mirai seems like, a meteor on the rise, But and the Phase Connect, like I said. But a lot of these companies just why? What? Why? Why would anyone join Nijisanji? You actively lose money and viewers. joining Nijisanji.
Yeah, look what happened to poor Victoria Brightshield, right? Like she joins because her Oshis were Celine and Pomu. They immediately both graduate, and she's kind of stuck there. You know, all the negative backlash from all of the Celine stuff was still hitting, so people weren't watching. And, you know, Niji management's just hands off, so she struggled to get viewership. And like watching her video where she's like talking about leaving was like some of those heartbreaking stuff imaginable, because it's just like you could tell like she really wanted to be there, but things just weren't working out for her.
New identity now?
That would be Mogu Ghost.
Yeah, everybody go follow Mogu Ghost. There's Victoria Brightshield, and there was someone else that's also new, that's ex-Niji. I think it's like, her name's Sunny something?
Yeah, Sunny Explosion. It's the other one.
Yeah.
She was Kunai.
Yeah. Yeah. Sunny Explosion and Mogu Ghost. Go follow them. Check them out. Especially Mogu Ghost. Victoria Brightshield did some damn good content, and she's a based fighting game player.
Yes, she is. I think the moment that kind of sealed it for her, as far as leaving Nijisanji, was the Seijam Slam tournament. Which, by the way, congrats to Seijam to being the best fighting game streamer. he got that award. I figured he would. But yeah, I think it was the moment where they wouldn't let VV have anything to do with Doki Bird in the Seijam Slam, so they had to be in completely different brackets and couldn't interact with each other at all.
Yeah.
I think that moment like sealed it for her. It was like, that's it.
Yeah.
Because they could have had that moment where a lot of stuff could have been forgiven and people could have moved on from it if they just had that like one funny moment where they just like, hey, your voice sounds familiar. Even something as simple, just like in passing, like a 10-second, funny moment, just like, you seem familiar. Do I know you? Like that would have been funny. Yeah. But Riku couldn't even just let that slide. And you see this a lot with Asian companies. They tend to hold grudges pretty hard to the point that they'll even like lie to people about stuff, about people. And it's just like, it's crazy. It's crazy some of the stuff you see. I mean, obviously I can't talk about anything because, I talk to a lot of people. But it's like crazy the stuff that goes on behind the scenes sometimes. Yeah. But I'm not the kind of person that if somebody DMs me something, I don't, immediately run and go out to share it to literally everyone. And you're an idiot if you do that, not naming names.
Yeah.
Because no one will ever trust you again if you do stuff like that. Just, advice.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not that anyone's going to hear that needs to hear it, but.
Yeah, well. It'll be on the record that you said it when it does happen.
Yeah, I'm planting my foot here, just being like, I was right. If people come to you in confidence telling you stuff, don't repeat it. That's very important.
Yeah. But yeah, there's just no reason to join Nijisanji now. It's just a detriment.
No, it's not. Like, and you got stuff like this. You got stuff like this going on in Nijisanji, which, this might be the greatest segue of all time ever.
Oh yeah, the fucking
Aster Arcadia.
Well, we already knew he was a piece of shit from the Scarlet.
From the Scarlet leaks. Yeah, we could go back in the video here. Where is it? This is False's video. Yeah, this stuff here.
Like, how are you gonna be that fucking piece of shit to Scarlet? Like, Scarlet's one of the good ones in Niji. Now, granted,
my intention wasn't to hurt you. Yeah.
Yeah. Granted, I don't watch a lot of Scarlet. I don't like her voice. She sounds like Fran Drescher. But
dude, Scarlet, she's great.
She's a sweetheart. She's a nice person. How the fuck are you gonna be a piece of shit to Scarlet? That's like kicking a puppy. Yeah, she's like one of the nicest people, and God, her model is fire. Oh, it's fucking gorgeous. I said before, I showed her like alternate red dress outfit to my girlfriend. My girlfriend reacted like a man.
Like, damn, that's hot.
Yeah, for real. Like, damn, girl, something like that. Like, she reacted more than I did. Like, I feel like there's people in Niji that won't leave because they're attached to their character, their model, that kind of thing.
I mean, like, imagine if, like, I couldn't imagine, like, having to, like, leave Gator. Like, just imagine I had to, like, leave the Gator character when I left the kill stream, and it was because it was, like, copyrighted or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what the hell I would have done.
Yeah. Like, I feel like that's, like, Scarla and Rosemi, that's my personal rat. They're trying to do the double R. The personal rat. Rat is that I think a big reason they're still there is they want to keep being Scarla and Rosemi.
Yeah,
like they're
because
attached to
both
it.
of them have such great models and characters and lore and all that stuff. Like I could not imagine Rosemi or Scarla as anyone but Rosemi and Scarla.
Like, can you imagine Rosemi giving up that song at the
I
beginning of her streams?
know.
Yeah. And I feel like they're like stuck in a bad relationship because of something like that. It's like when you're dating the abusive boyfriend because he fucks you so good. It's like you should leave, but damn. You need to leave, but damn. You know what I mean?
No, we do know that Niji does fuck the town as hard as they can.
Oh, they'll grab you by the hair. Yeah. That's just my little personal conspiracy theory on that front. But yeah, and, like, Astra's a piece of shit. We kind of knew that, but, like, this is, like, further... Like, we didn't know how deep the rabbit hole went. This motherfucker is just...
We didn't know that
Again,
it was...
It's that whole...
We didn't know it was... We just knew about Scarla, and that maybe he had made, like, weird comments to, like, Twisty and people like that. But, like, no, it's a lot of female VTubers within the company that he's made, like, weird, sexually charged statements towards.
And he does that manipulative shit of, like, oh, I'm such an emotional man. Just you're the only one I feel comfortable talking about this to. You know, you and I have such a bond. And I'm so vulnerable with you and around you. I'm just so, I feel like I can really be myself around you. Ladies, that's always bullshit. Don't.
It's the love bombing thing.
Don't fall for that shit.
He acts
It's
like a creep.
tactic.
He acts like a creep, and then he love bombs them, and then he tries to act like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to be an inconvenience to you."
Yeah, I'm just so vulnerable. It's an act, ladies. It is a predatory tactic. They don't mean it. You are not the only one they're opening up to. They're not even opening up to you. They're reading from a script. And he is one. Some of these fucking dudes, man. Look, I get the chase for pussy. I respect it. But there comes a point where you're just, man, if you're just jumping on anything that moves, because you gotta, like, no, bro, you're fucking, don't be a man whore. Don't be a man whore. It ain't nothing to be proud of. It's like, it feels like once you fucked a certain amount of women, like there is a weird space in men, right? Where it's like, you fuck no women, you get no bitches. You fuck many bitches. Good. Or you fuck one bitch and you're loyal. Ah, that's sweet. Like, respect. You fuck many bitches. Ah, that's an alpha male right there. You fuck a ton of bitches, that becomes suspicious. There is like
There's a limit. There's a line you don't cross.
There's an amount of pussy you're supposed to get. When you get too much pussy, it's almost worse than getting no pussy. It's like, what are you doing? Something's wrong. Are you paying for it? Are you drugging them? You're not supposed to be getting that much pussy. That's suspicious. It's like when someone gets in a suspicious amount of money really quickly. Why did you get it? Why did you get a transfer to your bank account for $4.3 billion? Where did you get $4.3 billion? That's not just supposed to arrive in someone's bank account. That's a lot of money. Where'd it come from?
Unless their answer is, I'm an artist, and there was this guy, and he wanted me to draw his persona, and then I'm like, okay, please don't explain. I don't want to know the rest. I totally understand, and I know where the money came from now. You don't have to tell me what Defense Department contractor he works for.
Exactly. Like, it's too much. It's impractically large. There has to be a second force at work here. Now, sometimes it's, oh, I'm very rich. But even then, it's like, the skeevy world of the rich, you know? How many of those girls are of age? How many of those girls are how many did you pay? How many of their models to think that you can just further their career, you know? It stops being a bragging right. And this motherfucker is in that area where it's like, that's too many, you're going for too much. If you get that much, all the pussy that you're going for, it just becomes suspicious pussy. I'm looking at you funny. Like, that's a lot. That's a lot of VTubers you fucked. You ain't supposed to fuck that many VTubers. Something's up. That's not. That doesn't feel like a random. It doesn't feel like a natural occurrence. It's like the joke everybody would make on the virtual asylum about all the Hololive girls are on vacation because they're pregnant because Vesper got them pregnant. All these jokes about Vesper.
I remember that stupid stuff.
Yeah, all of the jokes about Vesper impregnating everybody. It's like if all these Hololive girls did start getting pregnant right after Vesper joined, there's a common denominator. Something changed. VTubers don't just keep getting pregnant. Something has entered the scene to make this thing happen a lot. And like once you get a certain amount of pussy, like too much pussy, that's something entered the equation. Something that's not usually in the equation entered the equation to boost those numbers. It's like your pussy is botted. How are you botting your pussy?
I'll tell you one thing that kind of was a sort of confirmation from all of this is the fact that a lot of Nijisanji talents did date each other. I mean, of course, that was kind of an open secret.
Yeah. Especially
once Michi left and joined Vsojo, that kind of it was like, yeah, we knew. We already knew that.
Yeah.
we knew that. But this kind of opened the door. This opened the door and made people realize, there are talents at Nijisanji that did date / are dating.
I mean, I'm not even opposed.
I'm not either. I know there's going to be the unicorn, which they don't like me because I call out their shit all the time. But I'm hey, look, this is what it is. What it is, guys. I'm just telling you, it is what it is. They're people. They're coworkers. This stuff's gonna happen. I'm sorry. Your Oshi is cucking you.
I wish him well.
Yeah.
Go get Godspeed. I would rather like my Oshi be dating somebody than be sad and alone.
Right.
Like, yeah, go get you some girl. Chase happiness.
I want Pippa to go out and be happy and talk to people.
Exactly. Well, now here's the test. Do you want Maid Mint to go out and talk to people and get a boyfriend?
Yes.
Okay, good.
I had to pause. I had to pause a little bit because I'm like...
Do a little soul searching for a second there?
Yeah. It's like the Pippa. The big brain... the thing, it's like, however, it's like, yes.
Yeah. Like if Pippa got a boyfriend, I'd be singing, I'd be over the moon. Like, yeah, go girl, chase happiness. I mean, continue your arc, the from girl failure to girl success arc that is Pippa. And I think that's how any fan of these chicks should see it. Like, yay, good for you.
I want Pippa to go out and flourish and have many, many piplets.
Yeah, exactly. But like, but I do get why they might keep it on the down. But they might see it as unprofessional, And what if they break up and then it's weird? But it's still going to be weird behind the scenes. So who knows? Like I know Hololive is interesting about that. Like I think early on, they outright said they don't ban that. I think it's just they can't date staff.
Yeah.
I think I forget who cleared it up, but one of them did clear it up. I think it might have been Marine. Like said flat out, like, yeah, we're allowed to date. We just can't date staff. But yeah, they don't tell. It's not like the whole like a full idol thing. They don't tell us you can't date. You just can't date staff. Now I don't know if that applies to other talents. But I don't know if they would anyway. Some better be treating Marine right.
I'm treating her like a queen.
Yeah, I think she's desperate for someone to treat her right. I'm praying for Marine, man. Please, God, get that woman a man.
I would. I'd have to fight Sakana over her, but I would. We're gonna throw hands, Sakana. We're gonna throw hands
Sakana?
over Marine. Yeah, Sakana's Oshi is Marine.
Oh right. I'm thinking like Yago. You gotta fight Yago to get Marine or something.
Okay, so here's it. Sakana and I will team up to battle Yago and then after we're done defeating Yago, then Sakana and I will fight over Marine.
It's like Goku and Vegeta. We've overcome the obstacles. Now we must decide between each other who is the winner.
Yeah, we've defeated Majin Yago, and now we have to fight each other to determine who's the strongest.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, like.
But am I the Goku or am I the Vegeta to Sakana? I guess I'm kind of retarded, so maybe I'm Goku.
Yeah, but Sakana's weirdly oblivious with girls, so it might be.
This is true.
Might be Goku.
I might be Vegeta.
he says like the shit you shouldn't say in front of women all the time. It just comes out of his mouth. But,
He says also Sakana is short. I'm kind of short, but I don't know. I gotta remember when I was at Offkai, was I taller than Sakana or was I shorter than Sakana? I don't remember. I'd have to ask Necro. He
I remember
probably
you being
remembers.
normal-ish sized.
Yeah, I'm like normal. I'm normal size for a guy. I'm not like 6 foot or whatever. I'm like 5'9", 5'10".
Yeah.
Practically a dwarf.
Hence the beard.
Right. And my urge to diggy hole. No, seriously, if I'm playing Minecraft, like there's something like I always build a base in the ground and I'm always mining. I am dwarf. Every time.
All this is just bringing back my whole temptation to play Dwarf Fortress.
Yes. God, I love Dwarf Fortress.
Something in the back of my head just wants to play it, but like, God, I know it's going to be a time thing. Pippa's already tempting me to play Civilization. It's like, I got shit to do. I got comics and drawings to do. Y'all are trying to tempt me with these time sinks. Anyway, I think we should wrap it up. I think we got the
Saka's like 5'4". Saka's 5'4". I just saw him yesterday. Yeah, he is kind of short.
Yeah, he's Vegeta. Yeah, he's Vegeta.
Yeah. Nerdy Text Accountant for $4.99 says, I just assume every VTuber is in a relationship. I think it's a good way of avoiding becoming a crazy fan. Yeah, and that's kind of how you should approach it. Just be like, yeah, I'm not going to be overly parasocial with this VTuber.
I root for them. I root for, like, when I like people, I root for their success. I don't get how people can be jealous of others' success. I understand being upset when success feels unearned. Absolutely. But like, my God, I want my favorite entertainers to live in the biggest mansions. Like, because you earned it, because you're good at what you do.
I want Mint to be able to afford another Metal Gear Solid 3 pachinko cabinet.
Exactly. Like, I want Pippa to move out of her parents' house and get some weird fucking Pippa Graceland where she just lets all of her insanity go unchecked with her money. And she just gets this weird fucking, like, she builds a Pokemon town in real life and just lives there.
She totally would.
Yeah. She builds Pallet. She buys
Chat,
some
I
land
built a
to
full
build Pallet
replica
Town.
of Pallet Town. It's like, Pippa,
Exactly.
why did you build a scale replica of Pallet Town? I love Pokemon. Wait, I gotta find the clip. I love the dude that draws those with the 3DS. What's that app?
Flipnote.
Flipnote. Yeah, he draws the Flipnote things with the phase girls. It's like the funniest stuff imaginable.
For real.
I love it so much.
Fucking great. Yeah, I want to see that. I absolutely want to see that. I want to see earned success. Like, take away the shitty Instagram influencers and funnel all that money, success, and wealth into VTubers. Now, I know the little Menhera and might go crazy with it, but they seem to have enough of a one foot on reality. They won't go evil with it. They'll just buy a silly house. They'll buy a scale replica of the Shire, or some of this weird shit Pippa was finding on Zillow during her Zillow streams.
Oh my God, yes.
And they'll just live in one of those. Like, it's like aquatic themed. It's like I'm underwater. Look, my fridge is a giant clamshell. You'll do that instead of grooming minors. And you know what? I'm fine with that. You get your clamshell refrigerator, girl.
Okay, I didn't find the flip note thing, but I did find the funny thing that I made. I don't remember if I played this on the other stream. Hang on, let me grab it again without like blowing everybody's eardrums out. It's always the problem here. There we go. I've got to like make a new tab, and then I have to immediately press the mute button before I post it, so I don't absolutely destroy everybody's eardrums, because it's very loud. There we go. Let me turn this down just a little bit. I am stupidly proud of this stupid meme. Oh wait, I have it muted still. Okay, now I can play it.
No, I don't think you're right at all. I think you're right at all. I think you're the most wrong. You're not saying the right thing. Yeah, it's a cat. Cool. Yeah, right.
And that's basically how it goes.
Yeah, for real. For real? Yeah. Yeah, I'm tired. I think I'm ready to wrap it up.
Me too.
Yeah, go
me
watch
too.
Pippa and Pippa. She's great.
Pippa is great. I'm gonna go find that post before we leave, because I I gotta highlight this dude because he makes like the best stuff ever. And I know it's in here somewhere.
He did the one with like her reaction to finding out a character was a cat boy, not a cat girl.
Yeah.
Cut it off! Hey! I retweeted it, but I know it's lost in a sea of my retweets.
I know. See, I'm going through like all of the stuff I have, the Pippa stuff. When Pippa played House Party, I love stealing. I love taking. It's such good Pippa. I love that. She's like the only person that's just unhinged enough to just do that stuff.
When she is rubbing off, it feels like alone a lot of Face Connect. Like so much of Face Connect is like that.
Like Jelly's a great example, right? Like Jelly was like the idol, and now she's just like an unhinged gremlin, and we love her for it. I don't hate women.
Jelly was corrupted. I think it started with Dustborn. I don't know if you saw her Dustborn stream, but I think that's when the true corruption of Jelly began.
Videos at 300 speed, she's autistically tapping her coffee.
Oh, I found the the Pippa flip note with the Catboy one.
Ah, yes. We have to play that one. Did you post it in the Discord?
Restream chat. Restream.
Oh yeah, there we go. Oh yeah, there it is.
Tail behind him. Him! Is that a tail behind him? Him! Him! No! 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 What do you mean him? No! Cut it off! No!
I love when she picks up the scissors and someone holds her back. Cut it off!
First time somebody watches ReZero. Him. God, that's so funny.
It's so good.
I love those little flip note comics. They're so great. This one. Oh, this one's gold. Let me pull this one up. This will be the stuff that we close the stream on.
Yeah.
Slavery is cool. Pippa 2024. No, slavery is not good. I don't think we should have slavery. However,
God, those are Kino. However,
Who does him? It's at NAPixelZ.
NA
Max.
Pixels with a Z. Yes.
Yeah. Check him out. Shit's great.
Oh yeah, here's the one I was talking about with the Pokemon. Yeah, this is I love this one too.
I love Pokemon! Ah! God, I love Pokemon! I love Pokemon. Even when it sucks, I love Pokemon. God. Pokemon.
God. Start saying this.
God, Pokemon. And the jelly one's also really, really good too. I gotta scroll down to find that one. Oh, here's another Pippa one. We'll play another Pippa one.
Take the rats from the trash, no one will stop you. It's true, you can take the rats from the trash. I have 478 rats. Entire rats, whole rats. I've acquired them from various local dumpsters. The rats are free. They only bite if you grab them near their neck. Make sure to wear gloves just in case. Chase them into containers. I like to use Tupperware. That's a lot of rats.
That's a lot of rats. All of these are bangers. Every one of them.
Great. You did a Moomy one.
Oh yeah, there's a movie one.
Yeah, badmouth him. Badmouth Greninja. He's an ugly Pokemon. I hate him. Greninja's a stupid frog. Oh, disgusting. So stupid. So ugly. He's not even a ninja. He'll never be Hokage.
I love Sheena. I relate
Sheena
to her
too.
love of crabs.
Yeah, me too. Oh yeah, this one's great. This is the jelly one.
I'm not a soy boy. I'm not soy. You're a soy boy. I'm not a soy.
Sheena just dying. I love that so much. Oh man, that was like the best possible thing to end on.
For real.
Like you just can't top that. That's NA Pixels with a Z on Twitter. He's fantastic.
End it on a high note.
End it on a high note. Well, let me take a look here. I'm gonna go find somebody to raid into, if there's anybody that's even still streaming. Sayu's streaming. We'll do Sayu.
Oh, cool. Yeah, if we weren't yapping so long, we could have raided Pippa.
I know, yeah. I think Pippa just wrapped up. I think. Well, maybe not. She might still be going. It still says she's live.
Anyways.
Up.
Oh no, she's still streaming.
She is still streaming. Well, if we can, we will raid into Pippa. Because, I mean, this is basically Pippa's audience here.
Yeah.
Let's see. How do I remember how to do this properly?
Don't
Redirect.
screw it up. This is your one chance.
I assume she probably... Oh, she does have it, so you can raid into it. I take a shot every time I don't win the gotcha poll. Oh. Nice. Well, this will be good. This will be good, and I guess the people that don't like me will get mad about it. Oh well. Well, I want to thank everybody for tuning in today. This was, like I said, this was going to be a very yappy episode because, of course, you know, we have a lot of unsolicited opinions about a lot of unsolicited opinions about a lot of these people. So yeah. So, but we got, you know, it's a pretty good episode. Had a lot of people. Had a lot of super chats.
Yeah.
A lot of super chats. I always love to see that.
We've been growing lately, man. I'm gonna have to start charging you. Where's
For
my
real?
cut? We start making real super chat money. Where's my cut?
Yeah, when we get to that point, yeah, we're gonna just keep growing, because when we start pull down like 1,000 a month, it's like, yeah, Cody gonna get a little scratch of that.
Yeah.
A Well, thank you guys for tuning in. Of course, like I'm still on the project to update the audio version of the podcast. That's why you saw, if you watched the very beginning of the episode, you saw I brought Craig back so I could get the direct audio feed from the Discord. I want to start doing that again so I can edit the audio individually of each person again. So you can have the highest fidelity possible from the Discord call.
Yes, of course. And we also got to start doing clips. We're going to start putting out some Anime Boomer clips.
Yep, actually, someone's offered to start helping us a little bit with clipping because he's not really doing clipping for the person he was doing clips for. So and that's another thing too, is hopefully we can continue to grow the channel so that we can actually like pay him to do clips like he used to get paid to do clips. That would be awesome.
Yeah, absolutely.
But to do that, you got to keep growing. So we're gonna keep making content. We're gonna keep talking about fun stuff like hopefully we can do less drama. I always say that, and
you know what? Even in our drama streams, we talk about the fun stuff. So
yeah, see that's I like to do it so that we talk about fun drama and talk for drama in a fun way and crack jokes and laugh about it, as opposed to the people that get real uptight and meh about it.
Yeah.
We'd like to do something a little different because we're both irreverent and goofy. So we like to bring a little
trying
bit
to have a little fun, right?
Yeah, exactly. Have a little fun on the internet. But
anyway, we should wrap it up.
Definitely wrap it up. You can find the Anime Boomers podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, anywhere podcasts can be found. And my project over the next couple of days is to get as many of those uploaded as humanly possible, including this one. If you're listening to this on the audio feed, 20 years from now when I finally update it all the way, you can watch these streams live on youtube.com/animeboomers and at animeboomers.live, gatortime.live. My channel is youtube.com/thegatorgamer. And don't forget, Cody is the artist behind Cloud Scratcher. That is cloudscratcher.com.
Yeah. Yeah, and may I just say, it is so good that there is a guy that is obsessively hating me for the last 9 years. That's a story for another episode, and he couldn't even shit on it. He couldn't even find anything bad to say about it. That's how good Cloud Scratcher is. If you need any proof that it's something to read, somebody that is I've been living rent-free in their head for 9 years, just want to hate and seethe on me. Still couldn't find a bad thing to say about Cloud Scratcher.
That is wild. Yeah, I guess we'll have to save that for the next episode.
Yeah.
Which will be close to the end of the month, actually.
Yeah.
So maybe we could do like a year in retrospect on top of that.
Yeah. Fine. I'm sure something will come along that'll be interesting. Shit
always
keeps
does.
happening. Yeah.
Stuff keeps exploding. Crazy stuff keeps happening.
Yes.
And hopefully
but now
you
is
guys,
the time for ending.
Hopefully
my
you
leg
guys
is shaking from pee.
Yeah, I was gonna say, stuff keeps happening, and hopefully you guys will still be here to listen to us when it all shakes out. Have a good night. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks to all the super chatters, and we will see you guys Starside.
Peace.
Don't touch that dial. We will be sending you over to Pipkin Pippa of Phase Connect next. Enjoy this anime ending song.